Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial on how to create online course website. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you step by step how you can create a professional looking online course website. Either you are looking forward to promoting your own course, where you want to have a website where you can promote just your own course, or you want to create a website where other creators, other instructors or teachers can also come on your platform to create a course and also sell. All of these and more are what we are going to be covering in the course of this video. And I'm also going to be walking you through some important add-ons or features that you can also include into your online course website to make it look presentable and good for students that are going to be visiting your website. So this video is very compact, so do make sure you watch it to the end and make sure you don't miss any part of this video. To make it easier, in case after watching it and you want to come back to any part of this video, I'm going to leave a timestamp in the description of this video so that you can jumpstart to any section of the video that you want to, maybe when you are creating yours. Before I show you a glimpse of the website you are going to be creating, so if you are new to this channel or you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button so that you can subscribe to the channel, and also click on that bell icon so that you can get notified when next I release any other video. So if you want to see more videos like this, do make sure you click on that subscribe button to subscribe. So if you are yet to subscribe, to go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. So thank you very much if you have just done that. With that, now let me show you what our online course website looks like. So right here is our reference website for our online course website. So you can see it right here. Okay, so this has the light and the dark version. So you can have this button where user can switch between the light and the dark version. All right, so you can have an header like this. I'm also going to be walking you through how you can create it, not necessarily this type of website, but we are going to be making reference to this, or the knowledge you're going to be getting in this video, you can use it to create just any kind of website. All right, so you can see we have the header, we have the login and the register button right here. Okay, so you want to make announcement, you can have this at the top here, and then you can have this hero section. You can see online courses with certificate and diploma. All right, so the website we are going to be creating, you can also set up certificates so that upon completion of the course, they can get a certificate. All of these are what I'm going to be showing you in the course of this video. So you can see there's a category, most interesting occupation. You can have it maybe most top courses. You can just tweak the words around depending on what you tend to achieve. So you can see these are some courses that are currently available on this website. All right, so they are more like demo courses for the tutorial purpose. You can have a button that will show all the courses. You can see this section right here. Our courses focused on building strong foundational skill for career growth. All right, so we have this section which is for upcoming events. All right, so if you want to have an event section on your website, you can also do that. Okay, and if you want to add this more than 1,000 customer trust, maybe then you put the name of your website right here. Then you can put in logos or maybe some schools or institution that trust your website, something like a social proof. Okay, and then you want to add the testimonial. If you want to add any other section, like this is a section letting you know that, okay, they have an app, and then right here is the footer. All right, so away from this, there are other pages that are available, and you can also create your own page. All right, so you can draw inspiration from other online course websites. Just take a look at all of them, and then you pick one or two things from them to create yours. Okay, so there are also some pages right that has been created for us that you're also going to be making reference to make our website creation process much easier. So if you find all of these interesting, please give the video a thumbs up, and do make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like I said earlier, if you are yet to subscribe. So I'll also be sharing with you how you can create your own course. So you can see if you want to create a course. So let's take a look at this free course, for example. So if you want to create your course, I'll be showing you how you can do that. If you also want to make your instructor or your teacher to be able to earn commission on their paid courses, I'll show you how to set that up, and a whole lot of other features. So this is one of the course right here. So you can see this is how it is displayed. Okay, so there are different templates that you can actually work with. I'm going to be showing you how you can choose the templates that you want to use for your courses. Okay, so you can see this is more like a summary of everything about this course. I'll also be walking you through how you can select all of these options that are appearing right here. Okay, so this is free. If it's a paid course, you're going to see the amount of the for the course right here, and this is a description right here. You can have your description like this, and then this is the curriculum. So this is more like you can see 5 sections, 14 lessons, how many weeks it will take. Okay, if you want to also give assessments, maybe test or quiz, you can also do that. I'm walking you through all of this. So you can also use this section here. Maybe you want to put in an ad or a banner or something. You can also do this right here. I'll show you where you can do that, and you can see under each of this course it will also show you might be interested, so you can show similar courses or maybe recommended courses. This will also go a long way in helping you increase sales. I'll also be sharing with you a lot of resources, external resources that will help you generally when creating this website or just any other type of website. Okay, so for example, this course, when you want to take it, after you must have log in or register, you'll be able to click on start now. So don't worry, I'll still walk you through once we are done creating our own. I'm going to show you the process, how it will look like for user when they try to take up a course, and some of the messages you're going to be getting either as the administrator or as the instructor or teacher. So if you are the instructor or teacher, that means you are the one that owns the course. When somebody sign up for your course or purchase your course, you are going to receive a message. So we are going to be looking at all of this together. How can they purchase your paid course, the process of payment and every other thing. How do you set up payment? How can you receive payment for purchase cost? Okay, all of these are what I'm going to be walking you through in the course of this video. So I won't say it's pretty long. It's going to be a pretty long video, but every second of this video is going to worth your time. So do make sure you watch the video to the end. All right. So with that, now let's head over to start creating our website. So basically, if you are to create any website, either educational website, e-commerce website, business website, any website, there are two things that comes highly that you are definitely going to need. Okay. So number one thing you are going to need is your hosting, and the second thing you are going to need is your domain name. All right, so let me explain what these two things are. When you talk about hosting, now if you look at this website, for example, you can see this image right here. You can see there are some images right here, this text, this information and everything. They are being stored somewhere. All right, so where they are being stored is what we refer to as hosting. Okay, in simple terms. Okay, so where they are being stored so that you can access it on the internet is what we refer to as hosting. All right, so and when we talk about domain name, we are simply talking about your website name. Take for example facebook.com, google.com, chatgpt.com, okay, cnn.org, bbc.org, all these .com, .org, .net or .whatever, yeah, those are what we refer to as hosting. Right, so these are the two things that you are going to need. Like your domain name is that word that you're going to type into your browser to access your website. Okay, while your hosting is where all the information on your website are being stored. You can use the word they are being hosted. Right, so for you to get your domain and hosting, a platform comes highly recommendable. In fact, you're going to be getting discounts and the free domain. All right, so to get your domain and hosting, so just come over to this website, akprosperblog.com/hosting. So once you're on this page, depending on when you are actually accessing this page, this might be different. Okay, but there's something that is always there. You're going to see this place where they write start now. But before you just click on it, you can see launch your website today with its 5% off. So you're going to be getting discounts once you are getting your hosting from this platform, and it comes highly recommended. It's one of the best hosting that you can get for your website. All right, they have a very good support, little or no downtime. All right, so that I can guarantee you on that. Okay, so once you're on this page, and then you see this button start now. All right, the display might be different and everything, but once you click on this start now, or you just scroll down, you are going to see the plans and pricing. Okay, so right here you are going to see different pricing plan. All right, so just in case this might change as at the time you are watching this video, maybe after some couple of months, because they usually update their landing page and what have you. But most time you can see this middle plan is one I'm going to be recommending. But let's take a look at it. So either you are creating any other type of website, either e-commerce website, either a business website, or any kind of website. Okay, if you are just starting out, I'll recommend this unlimited plan. All right, so let's take a look at the features for this plan. Now this is offering unlimited websites. Compared to this, it's just 3 websites. You can only use this plan to create just only 3 websites. So you can see this gives you access to create unlimited website. So if after creating this, if you still want to create some other website, you can go ahead and do that if you are on this plan called the unlimited plan. And you can see this is offering you 84% off. All right, so away from that, you're also going to be getting domain free for 1 year. So you're going to be getting free domain. All right, so you are getting more storage. So this is 50 gig NVMe storage. You can see daily backup plus easy data restore. Now, this daily backup and easy data restore, you might not know the importance of this until you have issue. Maybe I think I had an experience with deleting a website mistakenly. You understand? I deleted everything, including the database. It was actually a mistake, but I was able to restore the website. Okay, so this feature, don't joke with it. You can see CDN included, integrated WooCommerce, so it comes highly recommendable for e-commerce website. AI tools, priority support 247. Okay, so this platform comes with a good support. All right, so if you want to work with WordPress, which is what we are going to be working with, you can see this theme. This hosting rather comes highly recommendable. All right, so you can just take a look. If you want to compare the plan or check all the features, you can do that here, but just go ahead and click on choose plan. So next, you are going to see this screen, which is asking for the period. Basically, it's asking you that how long do you want to purchase a hosting plan. All right, so if you click here, you see we have the option of 1 month, 12 months, 24 months, and 48 months. Now, if you are thinking of long term, I would recommend you go with the 48 month plan. All right, and choosing the 48 month plan will also give you a larger discount. All right, so you can see how much you are saving here if you are going with the 48 month plan. That's 4 years. Okay, so you are saving about $768 on the 48 month plan. But if you're on a budget, okay, if you're on a budget, you can choose the option of either 12 months or 24 months. Okay, all right. So if you pick the 12 month plan now, so your total will be shown here. So you can see it here. Your 12 month period is going to be the cost. You can see you're getting daily backup. You're also going to be getting a free domain. But you need to take note that if you're choosing the 1 month plan, you're not going to be getting a free domain. Okay, so you need to take note of that. And besides, 1 month plan is not recommendable. Okay, because if you are looking forward to create an online course website, I'm sure you should have be looking forward to hosting it for a longer period than a month. All right, so like I said, if you are thinking long term, go for the 48 month plan. But if you're on budget, okay, you can just go for the 12 or 24 months plan. All right, so let's say I'm going for the 48 months plan. All right, so you're going to see your total here. You can see you're going to be paying $143.52. All right, so that's what you're going to be paying. So once you are here, just go ahead and click on continue. Next, you'll be prompted to register. All right, so there's a chance that you don't have an account with them. So just go ahead and put in your email address and your password. All right, so once you are done, you go ahead and click on the register button. So once you are done creating your account and verifying your email, so the next thing you have to do is to enter your billing address. Okay, so I've just put in the regular domain name. I've put in John Doe, put in your country of residence, your phone number, all of this information, and then you just click on continue. So next, you are going to select how you want to pay. That's for payment. So we have now depending on your country of residence, what you are going to find a payment method that will definitely work for you. So you can pay with your card, you can pay with PayPal, you can pay with Google Pay. There's an option for OPay right here. I guess that's based on the country of residence. Okay. So we also have these other options: Alipay, Alipay, plus China, plus Hong Kong, CoinGate. If you want to use cryptocurrency, so whichever payment system that applies to you, just go ahead and then fill in those information. If you want to use your credit card, you can do so right here, and then click on submit payments. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. Once you are done with the payment, you now have access to this page that you're looking at right here. So to come over to this page, the link is hpanel.hostinger.com. all right, so hpanel.hostinger.com. all right, so with that, you're going to be seeing this menu on your left, and you're going to be having, yours might be different from this. Okay, so just come over to websites. All right, so you click on all websites. So once this opens up, okay, you're going to see this option to add website. All right, so click on add website. So you select this option of WordPress, so click on WordPress. So the next is some of this questionnaire. So you can decide to skip it, but let's just go through it together. So I'm creating this website for myself or business. So let's say I'm creating it for someone else. All right, so I click on next. All right, so whatever you choose here doesn't matter really. This is more like a survey or a questionnaire from Hostinger themselves. All right, so right here you put in your WordPress admin email. All right, and then you put in an administrator password. All right, So basically what they're asking you here is the email that you're going to be using to access your WordPress website, not your hosting platform. So you can decide to use a separate email, all right? So you can decide to use a different email from what you use for your hosting account, all right? So you can see here WordPress admin mail and then administrator password. So go ahead and fill in all of these. So you can see the information here. Make sure it meets all of these criteria right here, right? So let me go ahead and do that. So once you are done, so go ahead and click on next. Next one to do now, you can see what domain or subdomain would you like to use. Remember, I've talked about hosting and I've talked about domain. So we've gone through the process of acquiring our hosting. Now I want to do for our domain, all right? So now there are three options that you're going to be presented with. You can see claim your free domain. That's the first one. You can also buy a new domain or confirm a domain you already own. Now let me explain what the three means now. Remember I mentioned earlier that if you are getting your hosting from this platform that I recommend to you, you are going to be getting hosting and free domain name, all right? So with that now you can go ahead and claim that free domain. So what you just do is to go ahead and type in the domain right here, all right? And once the domain is available, all right, then you see the option to claim free domain and then you click on it. That's the first option. Now the second option is if you want to buy domain. So maybe you are creating a second website. Okay, remember this hosting plan give us the opportunity to create unlimited number of websites. Okay, maybe you are creating a second website and you have claimed your free domain already. You can just go ahead and then put in a domain name. If the domain is available, you see the option to buy a new domain. All right, and then the third option is confirming domain you already own. So maybe you already have a domain on another registrar, maybe like GoDaddy. Maybe you have a domain from them, maybe from Namecheap. Okay, you can as well make use of that domain to create your website. Okay, so basically what it means is that you can have your hosting on one platform and get your domain on another platform. So if you want to bring it together, you can do that. So for me now, I'm going to put in a domain that I already own. So where are you? Okay, so let me just type it. So this is one of the domain I own. So let me just use it. So you can see it here. Do you own this domain? Use it. Yeah, right. So you can see it here. So you can see the domain is registered at another provider. You have to verify you own it when you connect it to your site. All right, so let me also explain this. So if you are using this option of a domain that you already own somewhere, you are going to be shown this. So basically what it means is that you have to go back to, let me explain it. You are going to go to the registrar for that domain. Maybe you got it on Namecheap or Dynadot and go and update your name server. All right, so I'm going to be showing you that before the end of this video, just in case this is the option that you want to use. So how to update your name server. All right, so I'm time to take that down so that I won't forget. All right, so that is it right here. So what you just do is click on next. So you can see now it's right here installing WordPress. This might take a few minutes, so this might take maybe less than 2 minutes. All right, so with that now, WordPress is currently being installed on our domain. So guys, if you have watched it up to this point and you're finding value, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And if you're still yet to subscribe now, please just go ahead and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. So while our WordPress site is uploading, okay, so let me show you the name server I talked about. That is if you are getting your domain from a third-party platform, from a different registrar, from the hostinger I recommended, okay, or maybe you already have your domain name before now and that is the domain name you want to use. So you just go back to that platform. Currently this is Dynadot. Maybe yours is on Namecheap, or maybe you have yours from a separate registrar, or maybe from name.com or from name solutions or the likes, or network solutions rather. All right, so you can see, just look for this option where we have DNS settings. Some might be name server. All right, so you can see it right here, name server. So just change your name server to this, where we have change it to whatever is there, to ns1.dns-packing.com for the first one, and then the second one will be ns2.dns-packing.com. So once you update it, give it some few minutes and then you are good to go. All right, so now let's come over. Okay, so you can see our website is, you can see, okay, let's connect GPT to your website. All right, so now I've just shown you how to update your name server. If this doesn't work, you can see they are giving us another one to work with. So you can see, log into your domain provider, go to your domain management page and find the name server, which I've just shown you. Okay, so delete the name server record that's at there and paste the following name server record. All right, so they are giving me a different one. All right, so what is this? I'll have to just copy this and go and paste it there. All right, so let me just do that. So now copy this. So now I can come here. So click here. All right, so if this doesn't work, so you can just, let me just use what was given to me. So bytes, okay. And then the second one is pixel. So, and then you click on save name server. All right, so you can see this is an alternative name server that was given. So whatever was given is what you should use. But the other one I showed, that NS2 packing, whatever, it works also. Right, so once you are done, you can just click on, make sure you click on I've changed the name server, and then click on finish. All right, so you can see if you change your DNS record, your domain will be connected soon. All right, so just click on close. However, if you are using your free domain, all right, you won't need to go through all of this process. All right, so you need to take note of that. All right, so now that that is done, how do we log in into the backend of our WordPress website? Okay, so you can see I was directed back here. You can see all website, and then you can see the domain right here. All right, so what I'll click here now is I'll click on WP admin. That will open up in a new tab, and it should take me to the back end of my WordPress website. Now that is one way to go to your WordPress dashboard. All right, that is how it is being called. Now another way to go there is to just type in your browser your domain name /wp-admin. Okay, so just take note of that. Your domain name / for example, now for this, now if I want to go to my WordPress dashboard, I'll just type in gpt.com /wp-admin. Right, so now let's continue. Now the next thing we're going to be showing is create a website with AI, use pre-built website. So I don't want to use any of these, so I'll just click on go to WordPress. So you can see now we are currently in our WordPress dashboard. All right, so once you're on your WordPress dashboard, this is what you are going to be seeing. You can see this is the onboarding, set up your site. You can see our domain is already connected, so you can see it's this check here, domain is already connected. Now there are a few things you might need to take note once you are logged into your dashboard. All right, so in no particular order, so you're going to be seeing some of these Hostinger onboarding, Hostinger tools. So you come over to plugins. So basically the hosting has added some plugins for us, but we're not going to be needing them. So you can see a whole lot of them. So just go ahead and select all of this. So, but leave this light speed cache. I'll still explain what this plugin does. So then you come to bulk action, and then you click on deactivate, apply. So once you deactivate it, you come over here and then you delete them. Click it again, bulk action, and then you delete. All right, so you might be wondering what plugins are. In simple terms, plugins are apps that add more functionalities to your website. Now take for example on your phone. All right, some of those apps on your phone that add more functionalities to your website. For example, your camera app, that's what you use to take pictures. Apart from the default camera that comes with your phone, you can decide to download a different camera app, maybe because of one features or function or the other. You will see that doing that, you are adding more functionalities to your phone. Maybe you install WhatsApp on your phone, you install maybe a gaming app or a call app or a chatting app. You can see all these apps, once they're on your phone, they increase the functionalities and the features of your phone. The same thing is what happened here with plugins. Okay, so once we start adding more plugins, you're going to be seeing some of the features that they are adding to your website. Okay, so that is it on plugin. With this that we deactivated, we can come back to our dashboard. Okay, so you can see right here, welcome to WordPress, and you'll be seeing a whole lot of all this information. Like if you don't want to see them, or so you can just come to, let's dismiss this screen option, and then you can uncheck any information that you don't want to see, and then any information that you want to see on your dashboard, you can just leave it checked. Right, so once we have more plugins installed, you're going to be seeing more options, depending on the information that you want to be seeing each time you're on your dashboard. All right, so guys, if you are still finding value in the video, please give the video a thumbs up. So right here we have all of these options here. I'm going to be taking you through them because once we start installing more plugins and our theme, you're going to be seeing that we're going to be having more options right here. But before we do that, let me show you what our website currently looks like. So if you hover over your domain name right here, you're going to see this option, view site. So let me open that in a new tab. So you can see this is what our website currently looks like. Right, so and the aim is to take it from this to this. All right, so we are going to be doing that in few clicks, and I'm going to be walking you through that. All right, so away from dashboard, like you can see, this is the dashboard. Now for posts, this is where you're going to be having all your posts, all your blog posts basically. So you can see all posts, add post categories. So if you want to categorize your posts, this is where you can create categories for your posts. All right, the next is media. So this is where you're going to find all your media files, your, if you have PDF, if you have images or audio file. So this is where you're going to find them under media. You can see library. There's an option to add media file. Now for pages, this is where you can create pages, and all the pages on your website, this is where you're going to find them. So you can see the option add pages, like your home page, your about us page, your course page, all the pages. Okay, we are still going to come back to that. Now for comments, once you start receiving comments on your website, so you're going to see it right here. This is where you're going to click to see the comment. If you want to approve any comments or you want to mark any comments as spam, this is where you're going to see those options right here. And once you start receiving comments, you're going to see that red button telling you how many comments you have. Now under appearance, we currently have themes and editor. All right, so once we install our theme, you're going to see more options under appearance. Then plugin, I've talked about plugin some minutes ago. Then user, this is where you can also add user to your website. So basically, currently now I'm the only one that have access to this website. So if I want to give someone else access to the website, so this is where I can do that. I can view all user, I can add user, and I can also view my profile. Okay, so under tools, we have all of these options right here. Okay, and then for settings, we have the general, the writing, reading, and discussion. Okay, and this is that plugin I said you should leave earlier. And this is it right here. So if you want to collapse this menu, you can just click push it in. All right, so these are the options right here. Now, the next thing I want to do now is come over to settings, and then under general, so let me open that in a new tab. All right, so there are other options here, the writing, the reading. Let's see, there's one other one that I want to update something there. So now we are starting out with the general. This is where we're going to give, the first option here is the site title. All right, so maybe I want to give my site a title. Maybe this is an online course website. So let's say I want to give it the name of the site, PA Academy. All right, so you'll notice that immediately I change this, it's changing right here. Now, then the next thing is your tagline. Say in a few words, explain what the site is about. For example, just another WordPress site. So I can just say maybe online learning for maybe for kids, for tech. You can just put any short word that just like they say, to explain your site, online learning for all. So let me just use that. Now this you are going to put in your site icon. All right, so when I talk about site icon, if you are, let me see if I can show that. Now if you are on your browser, you will see some logos there. So let me see if I can show you that real quick. Okay, I can still do that. So for example, now you can see right here, you are seeing this cap. You can see under this email, Gmail. Now you can see this M envelope sign. You can see under this our hosting, you see this H there. That's what we call site icon. So if you want to add a site icon, this is where you're going to click on to add your site icon. There's still another place under appearance that we can do that, but you can go ahead and do it right here. So what you're going to put here is basically your logo. All right, so once you go there, if you don't have anything on your gallery or your media files, but if you start uploading, you're going to see it here. So let me just click on select file. So for tutorial purpose, I'm just going to be using this. All right, so then I click on select at site icon. All right, so you can crop it if need be, and then to show you what it will look like, you can see it right here. All right, so then click on crop image, and it will definitely appear here. All right, so the next one is your website URL. Just leave this the way it is. Everything, that thing is fine. Administration email address. So this is what I used. So if you want to change it, you can see this address is used for admin purpose. If you change this, an email will be sent to your new address to confirm. So if you want to change your admin email, you can do that from here. Now for membership, because we are creating a website where people can also come in and create an account. All right, so we are not creating a business website where people, maybe an information website. This will require people to log in. All right, so make sure you check this, that anyone can register. All right, so new user default role, we're still going to leave it as subscriber. So leave the option as subscriber. Okay, and then for time zone and then site language, choose what best fits depending on what you are working on. So the dates, the formats that best fit, maybe based on your audience or based on your own timing, and then week starts when. So once you are done, just click on save changes. All right, so these are just the options that are here that I want to change. Now away from this, The next one is writing. Basically, I don't really have much to change here. Then for reading, so blog post shows at least 10 posts. So this everything here is fine. For discussion, so allow people to submit comment on new posts. User must be registered and logged in to comment. I like to check this. Okay. So apart from that, every other thing to me is fine. But if you feel like you're going to change anything, email me whenever anyone posts a comment. A comment is held for moderation. All right. So you can just choose what best fits. And then you click on save. So if you want to work on your avatar, you can do that from here. Okay. So I think I only updated general discussion. All right. So those are the options that are available under settings, and we've looked at the menu. All right, so the next thing I want to do now, so let me come back to my dashboard. So the next thing I want to do now is to install our theme. For us to install our theme, so I'm back to the dashboard. So from appearance, you see these themes right here. So click on it. Now by default, you're going to see these three themes here. That means you're going to see the themes from the last 3 years. Okay. So now, if you're wondering what a theme is what's responsible for the appearance and the feel of your website. Okay, the design, the layout of your website. The theme goes a long way in determining that or affecting that. Now, let me use this to explain to you. Now, I opened our website earlier, so if I should open it again, so I've opened it in a new tab. Right, so this is what our website currently looks like, and that's because we are currently on this theme right here. Okay, so once you're on the theme page, the first theme that you're going to see is the theme that you are on. So if I should switch to this 2024, so this is it right. If I click on activate, all right, so that means you're currently on the 2024 theme. So if I should come back to our website now, if I should refresh it, you can see that it changes. Okay, the fonts change, the layout and everything change. If I should do the same thing for 2023, if I click on activate, so you see that if I should come back here, you can take a look at the fonts here, right here, maybe for this page title now. So if I should refresh it, so you can see that it changes. All right, and you can see this color is green. Okay, and the footer changes. So basically that is how theme works. It determines the appearance, the layout, and the physical appearance of your website. The theme itself also had some extra functionalities to your website, the same way plugin also does. Okay, however, for this video we are going to be using a different theme. All right, so for us to get that theme, so you come over to add theme. Okay, so you can see that in WordPress itself, there are over, as at the time of creating this video, 7,993 themes. Okay, but what I want to use is a different theme. So you come over here and click on upload. So for you to get the theme, so come over to this page, akprosperblog.com/eduma. All right, and you'll be redirected to this page. So this is the theme we are going to be using to create our online course website. All right, so you can see it here. It is the #1 best-selling education WordPress theme. All right, so for you to get the theme, so just go ahead and click on add to cart. Right, and then you can see the payments right here. Just click on go to checkout. So once you're on this page, if you don't have an account, so just select how you want to create an account, maybe with Google or maybe with email. So if you want to use your email, so just go ahead and click on email. You put in your first name, your last name, your email, and your password. So once you are done creating your account, then you'll be able to put in your billing details. Okay, and then you select your payments method, and then you'll be able to purchase the domain. I mean the theme rather, sorry. So you're going to be able to purchase the theme that you're going to be using. So once you are done, you'll be able to log into your account. Okay, so at the upper right, you're going to see your username. So once you hover it or you click on it, you see this option to download. Once you click on this download, it will show you some of the themes. If you've purchased, since it's just a new account, you see the theme that you just purchased. So you can see this is it right here. So on this download, so just click on it. Now there are two things you are going to download. Number one, that click on this installable WordPress file only, and then you can now choose either this or this license certificate and purchase code. You can download the text format or the PDF, whichever one is convenient for you. But these are those two things that you need: the installable WordPress file only, then either of these two, either the license certificate, you can download the PDF or the text format, right? So once you have done that, you come back to your website, all right, where we have our theme. So you click on choose file. So now I want to choose the WordPress file that we've downloaded. So I already have it downloaded. This is it right here. So I'll just go ahead and click on it and click on open. All right, so you can see. So I'll go ahead and click on install now. So guys, if you are finding value in the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly click on that subscribe button and the bell icon beside the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Once you are done uploading your theme, so you can see it's done with unpacking, installing, and now the theme has been installed. Now the next thing we want to do, there's no need for us to click on live preview. So just go ahead and click on activate. So if I click on activate, I want to go ahead and activate the theme. Right, so you're going to see it here, theme call installer, click on install and activate. So next thing you're going to go through is all of these steps right here. So you can just click on next step, or you skip this, but let's just go through it. So you click on next, the name of your website, let's just click on skip. Updates, you can just, okay, so here you click on activate theme. So you want to activate it, you click on activate theme. So now it's asking you to enter your purchase code. Now remember the file I asked you to download earlier. So this license certificate and purchase code, either the PDF or text format. So you're going to open it. So here is mine. So I'll just copy my purchase code. So I've copied it. Then you come here and come and paste it. All right. So you paste it right here where you have your purchase code. So once you are done, this personal token is optional, so you can leave it. So agree to my purchase code and inside data will be stored for, okay. So then you click on submit. So now it is activating. You can see license activated successfully. So now you can go to the next step. Now it is asking us to a list of recommended plugins for the theme to run perfectly. Please choose all and click button install. All right. So basically, let's just go ahead and click all. We are going to need this. All right. This WP Events Manager. This is for event. If you want to have event, like I showed you on our reference website, that's the plugin. That plugin is responsible for what you are seeing right here. If you want to have this event section on your online course website, you can go ahead and install it. Now, if you don't want it, then there's no need for you to install that plugin. Okay. So you also need to take note that if there's any plugin or themes that you are not using on your website, please don't install them. All right. Okay. So let's come back here. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be installing it because start from 7. So let me just go ahead and install everything since it is part of the recommended theme. I'm still going to show you some other themes. So click on activate. So I'm still going to show you some other themes that you might also want to consider installing based on the kind of features that you want to have on your website. But then it can be very tempting. So do make sure you only install themes that you are going to need. All right. So while this is installing, you also notice that we now have more options right here, especially this Eduma. Once this plugin also is installed and activated, you are still going to see more options on this menu side. You can see under appearance now we have theme, design, customize, widget, menu. Okay, so that was why I went through it earlier, so that once we start having more options, you won't get confused. Okay, so now next thing you can see now, import a demo content. All right, so basically what we want to do now is you can see we have different demo that we can choose from. All right, so if you are here, you can take out time to look at the preview of what each of them looks like. Okay, so that's another advantage that this theme is giving you. There are a lot of demos that you can actually work with apart from creating. So you can use it to create one instructor website. You can use it to create a website for university, a course hub. You can create a website that looks like that of Udemy. You can see demo Udemy. If you want to create a kindergarten, there's a demo for you. Okay, so there are a lot of demos, the demo university websites. There are a lot of demos that are available here that you can actually choose from. So, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to be using a different demo. And the one we are going to be using is this demo learning platform. All right, so that's what we're going to be using for this tutorial. Now you can also create yours from scratch. All right, you can also create yours from scratch, but to make it easy for you, so just go ahead and install this demo. So I'll just go ahead and click on install. There's no need for me to preview it since I'm sure of what I want to use. So go ahead and click on install. So it's asking us to import all of this, the downloadable, the media file, the content and everything. So I'll just go ahead and click on import. So once you are done importing the demo, you're going to be seeing it here telling you that the demo has been successfully imported. So you can go ahead and close this. All right, so let's go ahead and view our website and see what it looks like. So if I hover over this and I click on view site, so let me open that in a new tab. So now that we've installed our demo, so this is what our website currently looks like. So if you look at it right here, you can see we are currently logged in. So let me show you. You can see this is our hero section. where we have this section. Now we have this part that is showing our courses. Now what you might be seeing two courses here, or if I should click on this business strategy, you are seeing just one course. And the reason is based on this setup. It is based on the courses under each of these categories. All right, so if you want a different view or a different layout, I'll show you how to do that once we start to edit the home page, so that you can choose an option that just in case your categories doesn't have so much courses, so you can choose a particular design that allow you to show a lot of courses, especially since this is the home page. If you click here now, it will show you all the courses available. All right, and we have this section. I'll also show you how you can edit and modify them in case you want to change the information here around. All right, now under this upcoming event, if you install this demo, you might not see any events. Now the reason is that, like you can see, the name here is upcoming event, but in this demo that we imported, most of the events there are expired events. That means the event has taken place, so that is why you are not seeing any events there. And if you want it to also show you some of the events that has taken place in the past, I'll also walk you through that once we start working on the home page. And you can see, just like we have in the demo, let me show you the demo that I showed you earlier. So you can see this is the other demo before we imported it. So you can see just the same thing that we are having here. Okay, so apart from this section that I made mention of, so for example, you can see under this photography, that's because there are a lot of courses under that category. That's why we have a lot of courses right here. Okay, and you can see our upcoming events. There are events here. Okay, and I've told you why our own doesn't have any events. Okay, so with that being said, now let's come back to our dashboard. So now I'm back to our dashboard. Let me refresh this so you can see that we are currently live on our dashboard. And if you pay attention to our left side right here, you are going to see that we now have more options. You can see more menu options right here that we are going to be going through one after the other. So next, now from all of these menu options, now I want to look at this Eduma itself. So we go ahead and click on it. All right, so let's look at some of the options that are available there. We're going to look at them one after the other. So we have the dashboard, which is what we are currently on. Away from the dashboard, there's pretty much nothing to do under the dashboard. So this license, this is where you're going to see your license information here. So you can see it here, and then the import demo, the plugin. Now, what we want to just look at here is where we have this plugin. Let's start with this. So I've already explained what plugins are. So I said there are additional website apps that add more functionalities to your website. Now, before I start adding some of these plugins here, I'll still explain what they are. So let me show you again. Let's go back to plugins. So to get that plugins, you can see it right here. Let me open that in a new tab so that you can see the list of plugins that we currently have installed on our website. All right, so you can see it because of the demo that we imported. So the demo also imported some of these plugins for us for the website. And you can see where we're also setting up our theme itself. There were some plugins that were recommended. So that is why we have a list of this plugin. Now, this contact for 7 is what is responsible for our contact page. Let me show you that real quick. So let me show you. Or in our contact page, so let me see under pages. You're going to see a form that allows people to fill so that they can contact you. So you can see this form here. So that contact form 7 is what is responsible for that. Okay, so we are still going to look at how to modify this much later. So away from that, we have this Elementor, which is the page builder for our pages. We have this LearnPress. That is what the education plugin itself. And then we have this theme call, okay, and a whole lot of other. This is for WooCommerce, all right. So it will also help us with receiving payment on our website. And then this is WP Event Manager. This is a plugin that is responsible for this event section. Okay, so when you want to have an event, so you can see that all of this together are giving it unique functionalities and features. All right. So now back to plugins. So don't forget under Eduma here, plugins. So these are some additional plugins again that you can also go ahead and add to your website. All right, so let's go through it one after the other. Now, basically, I should have installed them maybe when we need them so that you understand the essence of the plugin. But whichever way, just follow along. Okay. Now we have this WooCommerce add-on for LearnPress. We are going to go ahead and install this because we are going to need this, especially when we want to set up our payments. All right, because by default, this theme, the theme itself only uses PayPal. And considering the fact that maybe if you are in a region where PayPal is not allowed, maybe like myself now, PayPal is not allowed in Nigeria right here for business purpose. Okay, so with this now we'll be able to consider other payments method. This is certificate add-on. What it does is that if you want to be issuing certificates, maybe after completing a particular course, you want to give out certificates, all right? So you need to install this. So go ahead and install this. We also have this gradebook add-on. So if there's anything that you don't really understand, do make sure you just click on it and then you check them up. Then Stripe add-on for LearnPress. If you want to also use Stripe, you can also go ahead and install this. Random quiz on LearnPress. So I want to use this. If you want to be having random quiz in between your lesson, don't worry, you still understand some of these terms as we progress into this video. Then I also want to install this co-instructor add-on. So maybe you want to create a course. All right. Remember that you're creating a website that allows people to be able to come to your platform or to your website to also create a course. All right. So if you want to have a situation whereby 2 or more instructors or teachers can create a single course, then you need to this plugin, this co-instructor add-on for LearnPress. So I'll go ahead and install it. If you want to have multi-language, you can see support multi-language with WPML for this. So go ahead and install this if you want to use that. Then this is commission add-on. So basically, for this commission add-on, it means that creators or instructors or teachers that create courses on your website will be able to get commission. So this is the plugin that will do that. Okay, that maybe for every course that they sell, this is the amount of commission they are going to be getting. All right, so this is the plugin that will do that. Away from that, we also have this announcement. If you want to make announcement, if you want to do upsell, all right, and if you want to do assignments, okay, maybe you want to be giving assignments, great way to assign tasks for your students. If you want to have that feature, then go ahead and install this plugin. We also have paid membership pro, and this paid membership pro add-on for LearnPress. All right, so for this now, remember, if you want to be doing paid courses, maybe you are going to be having free courses and paid courses, you are still going to look at that. But however, if you want to also offer membership, all right, to your user on your website, then you can go ahead and install this and set this up. All right, so to set this up, there's a separate tutorial for this. All right, so I won't be installing it right now, but in case you want to use any of these, that's why I'm taking my time to explain some of them randomly. So we have some other ones. If you want to use authorize.net to receive payments, we also have this my creed, student list, and then let's see, Razor Pay. This is for payments. So you can see we already have this installed, which is the events manager. This is Instagram feed. If you want to have Instagram section on your website, this is another translator. So translate theme and plug in directly in WordPress. All right, and then let's see. If you want to use resolution slider also, okay, for your any section, especially your hero section on your home page, so you can go ahead and install all of this. All right, so those I've installed some plugins. All right, so what I want to do now is to go ahead and activate it. So I'll come back to my plugin page. Remember, this is where it is. Immediately after appearance, you're going to see plugins. So I already have the page open up right here. So what I'll just do is to refresh. So you can see these are the themes here. I'll just click on them, and then so these are them right here. Then I'll come to bulk action, I'll click on activate, and then I'll click on apply. So with that, those plugins are already activated. All right, so don't forget what the purpose of some of those plugins are. All right, so away from that, if I should come back here, we are done with plugin. Another thing you also need to do is under this cookies consent. All right, so if you want to allow cookies on your website or cookies notification, so you can see enable cookies cookie concept pop-up. So I want to just enable it. So you can see it here. This is the text that was created by default. So if you want to modify it, this is where you can modify it. All right. So if there's any other changes that you want to do here, you can go ahead and do it. So just always remember to save changes. All right. So that is it for all the options under here. If you want to look at services, I think there's nothing much to do here. All right. So if you want to set it to maintenance mode or request a new feature, or you want to check your system status, pretty much the important thing there is if you want to install this plugin and then you want to do this cookies consent. All right, so now we've looked at the options under this Eduma. Now let's move to LearnPress. So if you look at it right here, we have LearnPress, and under LearnPress, these are the options available here. Now we are having more options here because we've installed some plugins. All right, so for example, we have certificates option here. We have this withdrawal. That's because we've installed the commission plugin. That's why we're having this option here. We've installed the certificate plugin also. That's why we're having this. Okay, so if for any reason you click on LearnPress and you're not having it, that's because the plugin was not installed. All right, and like I said, those plugins are optional depending on what you intend to achieve. All right. So from this LearnPress now is where we are going to be creating our courses. All right. So to start with, I was first of all be going through the settings. So let me open that in a new tab. So now on the settings now, let's look at some of the settings that are there. Now, these are the first one is under general. We have this page setup. Now, since we already have our demo imported, what it also helps us do is that there are some pages that has been created for us, like the course page. So this is where if for any reason you want to edit any page, but by default, they are all okay like this. The checkout page has been selected, the instructor page, the terms and condition page, then the logout redirect. You can say no page is selected here. I can choose the home page. So let me just go ahead and select home. So basically what it means is that if somebody log out of their account, so what page should it redirect them to? So I want it to redirect them to the home page. So that is what this is. So this is where you select the currency for the site, all right, especially for your courses. Okay, this is where you select the currency and how the currency will appear, the currency position, the thousand separator, the decimal, and the number of decimal. All right. So if you do any other changes here, do make sure you click on save settings. So away from that, we also have courses. All right, so this is where you can select your single course layout is currently set to modern. All right, so review courses, course created by instructor will be pending review for. So this is checked. So basically what it means is that once an instructor creates a course, you as the administrator, you need to approve it, all right, before the course can be live. Auto start, students will get started on courses immediately after successfully purchasing them. So this is checked here, so they can start immediately. Confirmation pop-up, show confirmation pop-up before finishing the course or completing it, all right. So a whole lot of all of these options are quite okay, all right, by default. All right, so we want to change this. Okay, redirect when finishing the course. This site will be redirected. Okay, the site will be redirected to the URL added after clicking the finish course button. Set blank, this will redirect to the single course page. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so every other thing here, I think they are fine. Sticky quiz paging, all right. All right, so this is for upload files. Now it's set to 2 by default. If you have reason to increase it, you can go ahead and increase it. Once you start creating courses, you understand, and then you're going to see the options there. So basically, if you are creating your courses, okay, there is an option for you to also upload some files. All right, so you can upload maybe a PDF file or something. So this is where you're going to select the maximum number of files that you can upload in each of those lessons. All right, so all of those keywords, you are still going to understand them. So the maximum you can upload is 2, and then in terms of size, you can only upload a maximum size of 2 MB. All right, so if you want to increase it, this is where you can do that. All right, file per page, this is going to the number of displayed files per page. Enter -1 to display all files. Okay, and then let's instructor setting, instructor per page is set to 12, show admin on list. All right, so don't forget, if you make any changes here, always remember to save. Away from that, we also have profile. So this is the avatar dimension, the cover image. This is set by default. All right, so again, if you need to change anything here, but they are also always okay like this by default. All right, for payments, okay, so let's check payments. All right, so by default, this is where you set up your payment. So enable guest checkout is currently disabled. I don't want people to check out as a guest. I want them to be able to create an account so that they can check out. Okay, so account login, enable the login form in checkout, yes, and all these are enabled. So this is where you are going to select how people make payments. All right, now because we've installed WooCommerce payment, that's why you are seeing this WooCommerce payment. If you didn't install that plugin we installed earlier, you're only going to be seeing the option for PayPal. All right, so I don't want offline payment, so I uncheck this. All right, so you can see now, there's an option for PayPal. So if you want to use PayPal, you can see it right here. You just click on this box here to enable PayPal, but I won't be using PayPal because PayPal is not really functional right here. So, but if I thought you want to use PayPal, you enable it, and then you get your client ID and your client secret key or secret like that. So if you want to get it, just click here and it will redirect you to the developer site on PayPal, where you can get all of this information. But you need to have that business PayPal account so that you can get all of this information. All right, so that is it if you want to use PayPal. For offline payments, for the kind of website that we are doing, I don't think we are going to be using offline payments. Okay, but then if it works for you, fine. But I don't think creating an online course, I don't think you need to do offline payment. So what we are interested in is the WooCommerce payments. All right, so this is currently set to enable. So basically what we are going to be using is the payment system we are going to be setting up for WooCommerce. All right, and once we get there, I'll show you. But since we've already enabled it, You can see it's already enabled, so that's just what we need. So with that being said, let's just click on save. So we've enabled payments here, but the proper setup for payments, we are going to look at that in the course of this video. So for emails, now this is where all the emails, you can set up all the emails. You can see when's under, this is for general, from name. Once they receive an email, the front name will show you on, I put it as PA Academy, which is the name of our website that we used earlier. Then header image, if you want to have an header image for your email template, so go ahead and upload an header image. Now the footer text, make sure you change it from this LearnPress to, let's say you can also put in the name of your website. So let me just put it as PA Academy. So don't worry, once we start sending emails, you're going to see it. Now, so these are all the emails. So just go ahead and activate, enable all of them. So you can see it, enable all. Right. So once a new order comes in, the message goes to the admin, and also a message goes to the user and also to the instructor. All right. So the user is the person purchasing the course. Then the instructor is the creator of the course. Then the admin is, you that you're in charge of the backend of the website. So if for any reason you want to change anything or see how the message looks like, so just click on manage. All right, so there's already a message. You can see we have the header, which is going to be maybe like your logo or something, or you can create a custom header for all of this. Then your order has been placed by the username, order item, and then you have your footer. So if you want to edit any of this, you can see also there's some short code here that you can use to create different sections of it. All right, but by default it is quite okay. So this is the admin side. You can see it here. If you want to change that of the user, so you want to click on user, you do that. If you want to do that of instructor, you want to modify it. Okay, so that is for order. If you want to do for processing order also, you can do so. If you want to do for completed order, all right, so you do so, you can edit all of those information. All right, so that is it for emails, but the important thing there is to make sure that you enable them. So you can see that all these are enabled so that the messages can go. So maybe, for example, reset password. So this is the email. If you check it, you're going to see what the email looks like. And in case you need to modify them. All right. Okay, so I need to save this. So that's what I was saying earlier. Always make sure you save once you make any changes. All right, so this is saved already. So for permalinks, all right, so for permalinks, this is because there's one thing I also need to mention here under this section. If for any reason your course page is not loading, you might need to change it from courses-based to course. All right, so in case you come across this, I just need to mention this. So these are some other default links for your quiz page, for your lesson page. All right, and then every other pages. All right, so by default they are okay, but if for any reason you need to change them, this is where you can adjust all of those settings. But like I said, by default they are okay. Now under advanced, so you can also use here to set your primary color and secondary color. Right, so if you look at this orange and this, is it 2 shades of orange or so, the primary and secondary color, if you look at our demo site, you see that, okay, so you can see that the colors are coming out more often. So if you want to change that, you can do so here. Right, and then we also have this LearnPress AI. This is a new feature, AI feature. If you want to integrate this, so go ahead and do that. All right, now let's come over to certificates. So this is where you're going to set up your certificates. You select the font you want to use, the font family. You can come here and select the particular font family you want to use for your certificate. Now the download certificate type, you want them to be able to download it as an image or as a PDF. So this is where you're going to select it. And then every other thing, you want them to be able to share the certificate immediately after getting it on social media. So let me just check this. Okay, and then click on save settings. All right, now this is commission side. Remember, we are seeing this commission and certificate because of the plugin we installed. So if you didn't install that plugin, you won't be seeing these options. All right, so do you want to enable commission feature? So yes, we want to enable it. So what's the commission percentage? All right, so how much commission do you want to give to the course creator? All right, once their course is being sold. All right, so minimum amounts allow customer to withdraw. So what's the minimum amount that they can withdraw? Maybe you want to set it to $100. So once they make the commission of up to $100 or $500, depending on you, then they can do their withdrawal. So maybe then, or maybe you want to give maybe 75%, I don't know, 70%. So it all depends on you. So don't forget to save. Then for managing, let's look at the options there. All right, so maybe you want to give a custom kind of commission for some courses. All right, so I think that's what this is for, because all this that we are seeing here are some other courses. All right, so and the value that they are good, that means the commission they are going to be getting. And if there's a particular course that won't be getting commission, you can just uncheck it right here. So the withdrawal method for this is by PayPal. So just the same way, if you have to put in the client ID and the secret key to set up that. All right, so those are the options that are there under settings. Okay, I need to make sure that I go through each and every one of them. Now the next thing I want to do now is for us to create course. So if I come over to courses now, so which is this page right here. So this is courses. You can see these are courses that have already been created by virtue of the demo that we installed. So what you do is just go ahead and delete them, all right, so that you can create your own course. But I'll be leaving it so that at least I can have something to work with. Okay, so at least we can have something to work with. But on your own end, just go ahead and delete it and start creating your own. Okay, so let me show you what a course looks like. So let's view this course. Once you have created the course, you can also look at it from the back end, and you can also look at it from the front end. For example, this one, if I want to view it now, so let me just click on it directly. You can see once you create a course, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see the title of the course. You're going to be having an excerpt. Okay, you're also going to have a description about the course. You're also going to be having all of these options here, which is some summary based on the options you choose when creating the course. And you can see right here, it's a free course, which is indicated here. We have a display image. Then we have this curriculum. Okay, there is no item in the curriculum yet for this course. Then we have the instructor. This, you are going to see information about the instructor right here. Okay, and if there's any review, you are going to see it. Then there is an option to add some banner here. All right, so you're still going to look at all of this. So now let's come to the back end of it. So if you want to create a course, the first thing I'll advise you to do is, before creating your course, if you take a look at something here, you'll see that we have lessons, we have quizzes, and then we have questions. All right, so let me open each of them. We have lessons, we have quizzes, we have questions. All right, so lessons are what make up some of those curriculum that we see. All right, so let me just come to courses, and then now for these courses also we have categories. You can see you can also sort them. Like for this now we have 3D animation, business, communication, just like every other course website. They are always courses based on category, business, design, and the likes. So that category, this is where you can do that. So you come to categories right here. You can see there are some categories that have already been created. All right, so if this doesn't work for you, just delete them and create yours. And how do you create it? So for this now, maybe I want to create a category and I want to name it website design. All right, so I can leave the slug like that. The parent, that means the meaning of this parent category is the main category itself. All right, so none. If you want to add a description, text, color, or icon, I think this one doesn't have any of those. So just go ahead and click on add a new course category. All right, so let's see. All right, so you can see this is web design. So now this is a main category. Maybe I want to create some other subcategory under web design. So maybe under web design, I want to create a subcategory and I want to name that category WordPress. All right, so I'll just give it WordPress. Now under parent category, this is where I'm going to come here and select web design. All right, so this is going to be the parent category, while WordPress would be a subcategory under web design. I hope that makes sense. All right, then I can go ahead and click on add. Okay, so you can see it right here. And that is what is playing out here. You can see we have business. Under business, we have business strategy, communication, entrepreneurship. So these three are subcategory under business. The same thing is under design. If you look at design is the main category, but we have 3D and animation, game design, web design. All right, you can see their subcategory under design. All right, so that is how the category works. So I've mentioned category. If you want to use tag, so you can go ahead and use tag. So let's come back to courses. Remember, I've opened up lessons, I've opened up quizzes, and I've opened up question bank. right? So now let's come over to courses and let's create our own courses. So I'll click on add new course. So guys, if you are finding value in this video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. All right. So now let's create our own course. Now, what do you think we can use for the title of our course? Let's say I want to use, let me say, online course websites. Right, so let me just use that random. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to add here is a description about our course. Now, let me show you what the description looks like in a course. All right. All right. So let's see. So now if I come over here to description, now you see all this information you're having here. This what's HTML certification up to this point. All right. So those are the information that you're going to be putting right here. Description, right? Exactly. So if you also need to embed a video, you can do that. If you also need to embed a link, all right, you can do that. You can use all of this formatting option to format your text. Now, if you want to have more idea about what you can put here, just go ahead and look at, for example, from this demo now, you can check out some of their demo course, okay, to see what information they have there, and then that will guide you on what to put there. You can see, for example, for this description now, you can see they have this much. Now, for example, now this one, you can see it is having images. It's, you can also have the same thing now, but this particular description was done using Elementor page builder. That's why if you come over here, as we are creating our course, you can see this option that edit with Elementor. If you're familiar with Elementor page builder, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, maybe you want to have more features like that. Or you can also have something as simple as, you can see this description also. I think it's similar to the other one that we looked at. These two, I think they are similar because they are demo courses, so they can just create a duplicate. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. So let me see if this one is different. Okay, so this is kind of like different. Okay, so this is just more of text. All right, so this is the description right here. All right, so that was the information you're going to put here. You can put images, you can bring in text and the likes. All right, so away from that, we have this course settings. But before I go there, let's scroll down and see. Now we have this excerpts. Now for this excerpt now is just this information right here. Okay, just a brief summary in few sentences, talk about that course. All right, so this information here is what you are going to put under this excerpt. All right, so make sure it's related to your course. I'm just copying them randomly. So allow discussion, this is set by default. And then this is the author. Now I'm the only author here, so I'm the only one here. And because the reason why I can also choose from other author is because I'm the administrator, right? So if I'm logging as a teacher, I'll just see myself here. And if I need to put in a co-author, all right, so we're still going to get there. So this display option, you can just leave it as default. Okay, so because there are different layouts that your course can show, we have like 4. So you leave it as default because there's a separate place where you can set how all your course should appear. All right, and then the layouts, just leave them like that, except if you want to use a custom kind of display. All right, but by default, it's okay. Right now, so let's scroll up, and then to the right, this is where you select the category. Now, for example, the course title is online course website guide. So you're going to look for a category that best fits. Now, if you don't have that category, you can go ahead and add a new category. I've showed you earlier how to create a category. You can also create a new category from here. And then you're talking about levels of this category. You can see under business, we have business, strategy, communication, and entrepreneur. From the arrangement, you know that business is the main category. All of that, for example, if I select business, all of these are subcategory. All right, so let's say under this now, I want to put it under web design. I want to put it under developer. Okay, no, let me just put it under. Okay, you can also make it, maybe let me just put it under design and then design, developer and design. All right, so you can select the main category, and then let me also put under technology. This is the one that we created just now, web design. Okay, so you can select as many categories as you like if the course fits multiple categories. All right, then if you are using tag, you can also put in tags here. Okay, then if you scroll down, this is where you're going to put in your featured image. Now, for example, for this course, this is the featured image right here. All right, and if you're looking at it from the front end of your website, all of this image here is what we refer to as a featured image. That is the image that will show your course on your website like this. Okay, so to do that, so just click on select image, and then once you have created your featured image, maybe you are using any of the design tools, maybe free or paid or online, Okay, and then you upload it. So if you want to upload it, once you already have it on your system, you click on upload, then click on select files, and then you're going to select wherever the image is on your computer. All right, so once you do that, you'll be fine. Now another tip is that once you want to, let's say I want to select a file, let's see. So whatever image you want to bring in into your website, so make sure the title of the image, okay, so let's say for example I want to bring in this image, so make sure the title of the image fits the purpose of that image. For example, this, maybe I want to use this as my display image. I've selected, and then you'll notice that the title fits what I want to do. For SEO purpose, is also it comes highly recommendable, any image you're bringing into your website. All right, so maybe I want to use that as my featured image, so you can see, and then the title is there. I always like to copy my title into my alt text, then I click on set featured image. Okay, so this is the featured image that I want to use for tutorial purpose. So we've done all these options on the right. So now let's come back to course settings. All right, so this we are going to set the duration for the course. So you can see there, set 0 for lifetime access. So this talks about how long do they have access to this course. All right, so you can see it is only available for 10 weeks. So after that 10 weeks, what happens? There's still that option here. So, but if you want it to be for lifetime access, you can see it here, set it to 0. So if you should put it to 0 now, so that means you'll have lifetime access. All right, but let's return it back to 10. So this is block content. When the duration expires, the course is blocked. If you want this option, you check it. So that means after these 10 weeks, if you don't want them to have access to it, you click here. Block the course after the student finish this course. Okay, so if you want to block it also, you can do that. All right, then allow repurchase, allow user to repurchase this course after it has been finished or block. All right, do not apply to free courses. So if you want them to be able to repurchase the course, all right, you can also do so, because if you also want, basically the essence of this setting is that once the course has been completed, they can't retake the course. That option is left to you to decide. All right, so here you can also select the level. Now all these options here, and what we are going to pick in here is what make up, let me show you, all of this. Okay, so you can see for skill level now, it's showing all level, and that is where we are here. If you look at it, it's asking us that level. You can see, oh, for this course is available to all level. So if yours is having level beginner, intermediate, or expert, you can do so. Now, fake student enrolled for this course is only to display, not calculate. All right. So let's say for this course now we have 587 students already enrolled. All right. This helps us in creating social proof. Now let's come back here, and then this is it right here. So this is just letting us that, okay, 10 students already enrolled for this course. It might, that's the essence of it. If you also check it on, let's come back to our home. Let's see if that was indicated in the list of courses. So you can so you can see this is showing that 289 students, 82 students. Okay, so some of these figures are not actually accurate. They are just there because I'm sure you not want to purchase a course that is having 0 students, right? It's kind of like work psychologically. People tend to go with courses that has more students enrolled because they believe for more students to be enrolled, that means the course, has good review or comes highly recommendable compared to course with 0 students enrolled. So because of that, that's why some of these platforms have this feature of fake students enrolled. So you can put in some random number, okay, but it will not affect your calculation, right, from the back end that, okay, how many people actually purchase this course. All right, so this is the maximum number of students that can join the course. So you can put that here. You can see set 0 for unlimited. Retake course. How many times can people retake this course? You can see the number of times user can learn again from this course. So to disable, set it to 0. All right. Because basically, if you are done with the course, you might not be allowed, if you don't want them to be able to access the course again, or maybe to retake the course rather, this is what this is for. Now, finish button. Allow showing the finish button when the student has completed all items but has not passed the course assessment button. All right, so if you want this to be able to click on the finish button even though they've not done the assessment, okay, so this is checked. But if you want them to finish the assessment, okay, so this assessment can be a quiz, can be something. If you want them to finish it before going to the next should I call it the next lesson, okay, so that is what this, all these options here are, it is a matter of preference. It depends on what you want. Okay, so I can't tell you that this is how you should do it and this is how you should not do it. But I need to explain what everything means so that you can choose what best fits what you intend to achieve. All right. So add this course to a featured list. Do you want it to be part of the featured course? All right. So featured review, if you want to write a review, external link, normally used for affiliate classes. Okay, so if you want to do that, duration info, language, what language is this course, or language used for studying, media intro. If you want to put a media intro, you can do that. So those are the options under general. So if you look at offline course, so if this course is offline, that's what this option for. Then for pricing, all right, so how much is the cost? This is where you're going to put it. Put your price, and remember it's in USD because that's the currency we set for our website. All right, so if you want to make it a free course, then make it blank. All right, so for this now, let's leave it as a free course. So I'm going to leave it blank, but if you want to put a price, this is where I put it. Now for sales price means if you want to sell it as a lower price. So let's say the price for this course is $50, but you want to do a sale, you want to go on sales and then want to sell it for, let's say, $30. All right, so that's the essence of this sale price. Okay, and then you can select the schedule. Okay, from when to when. Okay, so this is where you can put it to work automatically, so you don't need to come back and cancel it and say, okay, it is back to the original price. Okay, so let me cancel it. So I want to do a free course, so let me just leave it at 0. So you want to put prefix, so it show additional information placed before the price, such as only, from, up to. You understand? So let me show you something like that here. So you can see now this is showing $69 per hour, only $69. You can see if you want to add all these prefix or suffix, if you want to, so you can see price prefix and price suffix, right? So there is no enrollment requirement. So yeah, so if you want to do, the students can see the content of the course item and take the quiz without logging in. I don't think you might not want this option, so it is left unchecked. Now, these are some extra information. So if you want to put in some extra information, now, okay, what are the requirements that people need for this course? So you can put in all of those information. Then over your target audience, if you just need to add this information, maybe tech enthusiast, okay, so you can put it there. Key features, FAQ. So if you want to put in some FAQ in the course, you can also do this. Let's see, is there any other course here having FAQ? I can't really see. Okay, so maybe you want to add some FAQ, like, okay, will I get certificate upon completion? So because this is some question that someone might want to ask, okay, so then you put in your response here, okay, you can put in a detailed response. So you can add as many as possible under key features, target audience, and everything, all right? So it all depends on you. So then under assessments, so this is where you're going to put, under evaluation, you want to evaluate them based on lesson evaluation by results of the final quiz. Now, evaluates by past quiz, evaluate by question, evaluate by mark, all right? So whichever one that you want to use, once you click over this question mark, so you're going to see what each of these actually means, and then you can choose the one that best fits. So the grading score, is there, if anyone, is it 80%? You want to use 70%, whatever percent you want to use, okay? So you can see this condition must be achieved to finish this course, all right? So if you want to evaluate them based on the mark, based on lesson, maybe, for example, for this first one now, it says, evaluate by number of completed lesson per the total number of lesson. Example, if a course has 10 lessons and the user complete 5 lessons, then the result is 5/10, which is 50%. Okay, so if you want to evaluate them based on the number of lessons that they've been able to take so that you can assess them, I mean, as an assessment, you can do so. So if you want to do it based on quiz, based on question, or based on mark, it all depends on you. So those are the options right here. Now for author, so this is the author right here because I'm done creating the course. Now remember that we installed a co-instructor plugin. Okay, so with this now, I can also add a co-instructor. But because I'm the only one logged in into the website, and I'm the only one that have access right now, I'm the only logged in member or user, so I can't really see co-instructor. But once you want to put in a co-instructor, you can do that right here. Now for the downloadable material, so maximum amount of files you can upload more. You can see we are having 2 files, maximum of 2 MB. Now, if you remember when we are doing some settings right here, you know, I showed you this earlier under that general, I think, where we saw that the maximum file is 2 and the maximum size is 2 MB. So you can see it here. So this is where that is coming into place now. So if you want to add course material, just go ahead and click on add course material, enter the title of the material, and then you can upload. So what method you want to upload it, or do you want to have it as an external? If it's external, you just put in the link to that particular course. I mean, to that particular material. It can be a video, it can be a PDF file, it can be a website or anything. Okay. So if you want to put in upload, so you can see you choose the file that you want to upload. Okay. So right here you can select. You can see that mostly it's PDF that is you can upload. Okay. So and the size must not be more than 2 MB. Okay, that's what we selected. All right, so if you want to upload a file that is more than that, then you need to go and adjust the maximum file size under LearnPress, and then you come to settings, you see it under general. Okay, so you go ahead and then you save feed. All right, then once you are done, also you come here to save. All right, so now the next thing is for certificates. So this way you're going to select the certificates that you want to use. Okay, so we are still going to come back to, I think we'll come back to certificate. So once you have created certificates, you see all the certificate designs that you have. So you just select any of the certificate that you want to use. All right, so that's the certificate that you're going to get upon completion. Again, if you not select the option to add certificates, okay, I mean, if you don't install the plugin for certificate, you won't be seeing this option while creating your course. So you need to take note of that. Just in case you are creating your course and you didn't see the certificate option, that's because you are yet to install the plugin for certificates. All right. So guys, if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe, and that bell icon so that you can be notified of subsequent videos. Okay, so these are the options under course settings. Once you do all of this, you are going to get a summary of all these options right here. So you can see it right here: 82 students, number of lessons, language, remember language, quiz, assessment, yes, okay, available in app, unlimited access forever, skill level. So everything you select under this option here will make up this for you. Okay, so now let's continue. Now the next thing you want to do now is your curriculum. So let me show you an already created course. So you can see the curriculum. This is what it looks like. Okay, so you are going to be having a title for each of those. Let's see what is it called. Okay, create a new section. Okay, for each of those sections. All right, for example, now this is having 5 sections. You can see it's right here, 5 sections. And what are those sections? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now it's telling us that it has 14 lessons. So that means under this section 1, it has 4 lessons. So if I should click on, you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then under this second one it has 2. This is it, you can see it here, and then these are the 2. So how do we go ahead to create the sections, the lesson, and probably the assessment? So that's the last thing that we need to do when it comes to creating a course. So let's come back here. So to do that now, let's create a section. Okay, so now let's say, based on the title of our course, online course website guide. All right, so for that now, we are going to be having, let's create our first section. Now, one thing I'll also say is that before you start creating your course, make sure you already have a structure for your course. You already have the sections, you already have the lessons that you want to use for each of those sections, all right? So make sure you already have that outlined, okay? So let's start with the first one. Let's say, this for tutorial purpose, let's say the first section, we want to have it as the title, let's say introduction. Introduction to let's see, what's the title again? Online course websites. To website design, let's just put it like that. Okay, so now with this, I'll click on add section. So you can see section added successfully. Now the next thing we want to do now is to add a description. So let me show you here. So you can see this information you are seeing here. This is the title here of this particular section. You can see this is the description they are talking about. Okay, just give it in just one sentence, 1 or 2 sentences, give a short description. All right, so let me just copy this. So that is what this place is asking, that, okay, write this description. Okay, so I click on update. So with that, now you can see we are having this option like new lesson, new quiz, question bank. All right, so now let's start with new lesson. Okay, so you can see the next, create a new section. This is if you want to create your section 2. Remember, we are currently on section 1. So create a new lesson. So once I click on new lesson, all right, so now it's telling me to create a new lesson, or I can also now this lesson is, okay, so let me show you this from here now. I've mentioned it before. are all of this. Okay, all of this right here are the lessons. Now there's an option for you to add lesson, but the reason why it's saying that this item title is required is that under lessons, all of these lessons that you are seeing here, they've been assigned to different courses. So if we have a free lesson, we'll be able to do that here. So let me come back here. Let me do something. So let me first of all publish this. Let me publish that. Now let me come over to lessons. Okay. So let me click on add new lesson. All right. So to fast track the process, now you can see it here, add a new lesson. So I've put in a title just randomly. What is web design? Remember that this note will be under this particular section, introduction to web design, which is the first section. All right. So I've gone ahead to this way. I'm going to put in a title for your note. Now this way you're going to put in the contents of that lesson notes. Okay. Now you can also put in images. You can embed video and the likes. Okay. So you go ahead and do that. Okay. Now you're going to put in duration. Okay. How long do you think this particular lesson will take? Okay. So you're going to use it. If you don't want to use it, you can just leave it at 0. But you're going to put maybe how many minutes? Maybe, okay, let's say it will take you like 5 minutes. Okay. Then preview. Students can view this lesson content without taking the course. All right. So basically, this particular one comes recommended for the first section of the course. Now let me go back to this. For example, now this particular course now, you can make this particular one, which is the first lesson. Okay, this section, this is the first lesson. You can make it accessible even without purchasing the course. And why? This is just to give them a glimpse of what to expect in the course. So what you just need to make sure is that it is very convincing and enticing. Okay, so that they can see that, okay, they can be interested in it. All right. So, and then you see that. So just make sure that it is something that you just interest them to want to purchase the course. All right. So that is the essence of this. But if you want to make it, you can see students can view this lesson content without taking the course. All right. So if you want to add some add embedded link and video and PDF slides, you can do that here. Okay. If you also want to upload material for this lesson, so add course material, just the same way I showed you earlier, you can do that. And once you are done, okay, so those are the options. Just go ahead and click on publish. All right. So you go ahead and create as many lessons as possible that you want to use. So you can see permalink is not available if the item is already assigned. It's only available if the item is already assigned to a course. All right. So this is how you can go ahead and create a lesson. Okay. Don't forget, make sure you already have a structure in place. You create your section, just like you can see here. You create your section. Under this section, what are the lessons that you want to have under it. Under your next section, what are the lessons you want to have under it. Okay, you just continue in that manner. So now let's come back here. Since we've created just one lesson, I won't be creating more than one so that the video will not be too long than necessary. So now I can come back here. So let me refresh this. So once I've refreshed, okay, so you can see it under this section. If I should click on this drop down, so now I want to add lessons under this particular section. So I'll click on question bank. Okay, let me add lesson. So now I'll click on question bank. Okay, so you can see it now. This is the lesson we've just created. Now, if you create a lesson or a quiz, okay, you can see no free quiz. If you create a lesson that has not been assigned, you're going to see it right here. So I'll just go ahead and select it. I'll click on add. Okay, so you can see it right here. So we already have a lesson under this section. And this is how you go ahead to add as many lessons as possible that you want to do, depending on how you want to structure your curriculum. Okay, the same thing applies to, so maybe after you've created like, let's say you can see there's an option if you want to edit, if you want to delete, okay, if you want to enable or disable preview, okay. Now you can, like I said, you can go ahead and create as many lessons as possible depending on how you want to structure it. Now the same way we've created lesson, if you also want to add quiz, okay, so you can come here and click on new quiz, okay. So this quiz could be an, okay, let me cancel this. This quiz could be an assessment, it could be a test or anything, all right. So if you also click on content bank, you come over to quiz, so you can see we currently don't have any quiz, so I'll show you how to create that quiz now. So let me just update this. So basically, before you start creating the course itself, make sure you already have the structure that you want to use for a curriculum. And once you have the structure you want to use, just go ahead and create the lessons. You create all the lessons that you want to use for all the sections. You go ahead and create the quiz that you want to do, so that once you are here, you just need to be selecting. So you won't have to waste so much time here. So now let's come over to quizzes. So you can see it here under quizzes. But before you can create your quiz, let's come over to questions. All right. So you can see this is these are questions right here. So if you want to add question, you can go ahead and add question. But let's come over to quizzes again. Let's go back to quiz. So let's just create one quiz, add a new quiz. So you can give it a title. So let me just give it website design assessments. Okay. Assessment 1. Let me put it like that. Okay, so you can put in a short description here. And this is where you are going to put in the question that you want to ask. All right, so you can see create new question. All right, so select your question type. Do you want it to be a true or false? Do you want to be multiple choice? Do you want to be a simple choice, or do you want to be filling the gap? All right, so just to make it easy, let me just make it true or false. Okay, then you click on add question. Okay, so let's give it a title. So let me call this question 1. Let me just say question 1.1. All right. So when I click on add question. All right. So this is where you're now going to put in your question. All right. Let me say is WordPress a CMS? Okay. So that's where you put in your question, and then configure your answer. So what's the correct answer? The correct answer is true. If it is false, you select false already. So the answer is true. I've selected my answer. So these are the option details. How many points do you want to give them for answering this question? You put it. If you want to put in an hint, so you can see it here. You can put in an hint here. If you want to put in explanation, you can do so right here. So once you are done with this, then the first question is ready. So if you want to do, this for, let's say I want to do another question 1.2. All right. So instead of also creating the question, one after the other, you can also pick it from your question bank. All right. So you can see we have a list of other questions here. All right. So maybe you want to choose this now. So you click and then you click on add. So you can see it here. We've also added this particular question 98. So let me just change this to, okay, let me delete this. So I'll just click on set. Okay, so I'll just set this to 1.2 and I click on updates. All right. So with this now, I've created two questions. Two quiz rather. So you can call it quiz, you can call it assessment. All right. Now, under questions, if you come here to questions, so what it means is that you can create a list of questions. All right. So if you create a list of questions, then you come to quizzes, and then once you give it your the title of the quiz, or you want to call it assessment, you can just come here, and then what you just have to do is to come to question bank, and then you pick from all the questions that you've created earlier. All right. Same thing applies to lessons also. The same thing also applies to lessons. Before you start creating your course, just go ahead and create all your lesson notes. All right. Let me call it your lesson note, so it makes the process easier. So let me go ahead and publish this. Okay, that is already published, but let's scroll down. There are still some other options here. You can see duration. How many minutes do you want to give them to answer all of these questions? That is what you're going to put here. So if you put 0 to no limits, that means they can just finish it anytime. But if you want to add time limit, that okay, this quiz or this assessment, you must finish it under 5 minutes, or maybe hours, days, or weeks. Okay. Mix all available questions in the quiz. Okay, maybe you can create like 10 questions like this now, and say, okay, maybe out of those 10 questions, I want to use 5. That's what this section is. Use 0 to whatever, and then you can select this option that, okay, mix it. Out of all those 10, just use 5, and then pick them randomly. That's what this random question is. Passing grade, what's the passing grade? You can set it to how many percentage. Instant check, allow students to nearly check their answers while doing the quiz. So maybe when they select option A, let them to be able to know immediately if option A is correct or not. So that's the essence of this. Negative marking, for each question that student answers wrongly, the total points is deducted exactly from the question point. So if you want to do negative marking, if you want to do minus for skip, so that means for each question that student answers skip, the total points is deducted. So once they start skipping any question, they're going to deduct a mark. If you want to set how many times they can retake it, maybe after they failed the first attempt and they want to retake it, do you want them to be able to take it? If yes, how many times? Okay, so you can see set 0 to disable. Okay, so if you don't want them to be able to retake it, just leave it to 0. All right, so all of these options here, it all depends on what you intend to achieve. Okay, then you go ahead and then you update. Right, so now we've created an assessment, and then remember, the adding of assessment is quite optional. I just decided to add it. So I'm back to where we are creating course, still on the curriculum now. So on this first section, so let me still click it down. So I've showed you how to add lessons, so you can add as many lessons as possible. You can also add quiz. Okay, so like now let me refresh this because I just created a quiz, so I will need to refresh it so that it can reflect. So I'll come back to curriculum, this first one. So now select question bank. So I come over to quiz, so you can see website assessment 1. You will see it here because we've not used it, so we are going to see it here. So I'll just select it and I'll click on add. All right, so you can see it right here. So this is how you can go ahead to create a course. Okay, so once that is done, you can just go ahead and then update, and our course is ready. That's just the process. Okay, if you want to use Elementor, maybe you're familiar with Elementor to make the layout or design looks, different or more unique or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. But I think the bulk of work lies in this curriculum. So you need to, the same thing I said earlier, you need to have a structure in place for how you want to arrange your courses, the sections, the lesson, the assessment also, how you want to do all of those. Okay, all right, so now let's go ahead and view it. So you can see we already have a link. Let me open that in a new tab so that you can see what our course currently looks like. So you can see it right here, online course website guide. You can see our display image. You can see all of this information, number of students enrolled. It has only one lesson. Language, you can see it has one quiz. Assessment, yes, available on the app. Unlimited access forever. Skill level. You can see these are the options that we choose when creating. You can see under description all of this information, and this is it right here. Okay, and then you can see that's this part here, which is like an excerpt, and this is it right here. Where are you? Okay, you can see it right here. Okay, so what else under curriculum? If I come to curriculum now, so you can see we only have one section. Remember that was introduction to web design. You can see this is that short description we added. If you click on it, this is the lesson we created. We set it to 5 minutes, and then we disable preview. That's why we are having this padlock. So students will have to, start the course before they can see the content. And this is the assessment 1. You can see we have 2 questions. We set it to 5 minutes. All right. And then the structure. So once I set up my page properly, I'm going to be having my image here, my name, and every other thing. Okay. So with that now, I've walked you through the process of how to create a course. All right, so guys, if you're finding value, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you have any question, just note them in the comment section. I'm going to definitely answer that. So that's it on the creating the course part. So now let's move to the next part of this video. The next thing I want us to look at, because I want us to finish some of the major thing under this LearnPress menu, is how to add a certificate. All right, so that you can create a certificate. Remember when we were creating course earlier, we were unable to pick the certificates that I want to attach to that particular course. So basically, you can have more than one certificate design. You can see here, you can see all the certificates that you have, and then, like I said, you can have different certificates for different course or for different category. All right, so I'll click on add new certificates. All right, so I can give it the certificate a name. So I can give it a name either based on category, based on the course, or based on the author, or, just give it a title that best fits. All right, so let me just call it certificate 1. So let me just call the certificate 1. You can put in an excerpt for the certificate. Now, here you're also putting the price. So the price of certificate, the default is 0, means this certificate is free to download. Currency is what you choose in terms of LearnPress settings, all right? So if you put it at 0, that means certificate is free. But if you put it a particular price, maybe you want it to be a paid certificate, you can put it at $50, okay? So basically, even if the course is free, once there's a price for the certificate, you have to pay for the certificate, even if the course is free. So you need to take note of that. So let's just say it's a free certificate, and then I can go ahead and publish. All right, so now that is published, you can have a screen like this. All right, so what you now have to do is to bring in okay, you can see right here, is to bring in a background. So you go ahead and choose a background. Now, basically, the background is the certificate itself. Okay, so you can see something like this one right here. Okay, so let me say I want to use this now. So you go ahead and then you upload it. It's currently uploading. Okay, let me just click on update and let's see, that should appear. All right, so you can see it right here. Okay, so certificate of achievement, it should just look like something like this. Or now for you to get your own certificate design, you can come over to Canva to just search for certificate. Then you see a whole lot of design that you can actually choose from. So let's say I want to use this now. I'll just click on this design. Customize this template. So once you have it now, I can just go ahead and modify it. You can change the color, everything. Now you can also create your own custom certificate if you don't want to use some of this template certificate. All right. So what I can just do is to just go ahead and change this logo to the website logo, certificate of completion. Now I'm going to take off this part that has the name. So I want to delete this. So let me delete where that, now where the name is, I'm going to just put in student name. We also have course name. All right, so you can just go ahead and for completing, so the online real estate for completing. So this is where I'm going to put in the name of the course. So I'll just say for completing. All right, so for this now, let me just put it here. So I'm just going to have the course name here. Then this, you can have maybe something here, just be creative. So here I can put in what other information do we have here? Course dates, course start date, and course end date. All right, and then, all right, so I can just put in here that course dates, course start date. So I hope you got the concept. So I'll just put in here that course start date. Start, S-T-A-R-T. All right. So I can also put maybe course end date somewhere here, or just put some information here, and then just go ahead and download it. So let me just do this real quick. Go ahead and download. And then you see the option to download right here. All right. It's already been downloaded. So I'll just come over here and then look for it. Remember what I said earlier? Let me open it in the folder. So you should always rename any file you want to upload into your website to fit the purpose of the website. Okay. So I can just change this to PA Academy online course certificates, online course with certificates. Now, assuming this certificate is for a particular course, I can just put the name of the course in the title. All right. So with that, now I can come here. So for this now, let me change the background now. So I'm going to upload file. So you can upload or you can just drag it in. So once you drag it in, once you see this blue background, you can drop it. So once it's uploaded, you go ahead and click on insert. All right, so this is fine. So now this is what you're going to do now. You're going to drag this course name, or let's start with this course name now. We want it to be here. So I'm just going to drag this here. All right, so you notice that while I was dragging this information, let me show you, I brought in the course name. You notice that it was not allowing me to do that. It's supposed to show something like this, a course name. Now, the reason was that the image was too big, the resolution was too big. So what I did was I came back to choose background image. I selected the same image. I clicked on edit image and I did scale. So you come over to scale and then you reduce the resolution. So I reduced it to 500. I just put in 500 here. So it adjusted it appropriately. And then I click on scale. Okay, so that made it smaller. So you can see it's supposed to show the course name. So the course name should be somewhere here. So this is where it will appear. Remember, based on the design, okay, you can see for completing, it will now show the course name right here. You can size it because if you click here, now you can see you can select your fonts, you can select the size, the normal, the color, alignment, everything. Okay, all these formatting options are available. So for student name now, I will just drag the student name here where I have this line. That is for student's name. So the student name will be here. Course start date, this is where I want to put it. Okay, so it's not compulsory you use the same design with what I'm using. All right, so for this now, I want it to be smaller. All right, so once you just click on it, course start date. All right, so you can also select the size. It should be smaller. Let's say I want it to be 12. Okay, sorry. So let's say I want it to be 12. All right, so you can see it right here. So that's, then if you also want to add these, maybe the current time when the certificate was issued, if you want to add any QR code, you can also do that. If you want to add something, let me delete this. So if you want to put in custom information here, you just use the custom and put it wherever you want to put. All right, so under the custom information, so you can put what custom text do you want to put. All right, so this is how you can go ahead and let me delete that, and create your certificate. All right, so like I said, you can use Canva to create to get templates. You can create your own custom design. You can get a graphic designer if you have knowledge in graphic design to create your own custom design. You bring it in and then you set all the information that you want like this, and then you click on update. All right, so basically that is how you go ahead to add certificates. So we already have a certificate already. So if I come back to where, okay, you can see the price here. You can still want to put the price. If you want to add an excerpt, fine. So if I should come over to certificates now, so you can see we have one certificate, and then you can have as many as possible. Okay, you can see here it's asking me for which particular course. I didn't put it under any particular course. All right, so now if I should go back to courses now, to the courses we created earlier, this was the course we created earlier. So if I click on edit, so let's say I want to add this particular certificate to it. So if I should come down to where I have certificates, so you can see it now, I can assign it to this course. Okay, so you can see that, let's say I'm the one that is taking up this course. You can see this is where it's putting my name, then the course title, online course website. But basically you can see that the size that we use is too big. So that means the font size of 24 was too big. So you need to go back and go and adjust it properly. So you can see for that of the dates, course issue dates, match on these dates. Okay, so you see that that is still quite okay because I reduced dates. Okay, so those are the formatting and alignment you need to take note of. So I want to assign this certificate to this course, so I'll just click on assign. So you can see, and that is done. So what I'll just do is to update. All right, so when we are testing this course, we're going to see, maybe we are going to how to get the certificate and how it works. So that is it on certificate. Now another thing you see here is enrolled students. So this is where you're going to see students that have enrolled to your course. You know, when did they enrolled, enrolled after, enrolled before. You can sort it out like this. Away from that, we also have comments under this Eduma, LearnPress course review. You are going to see all your reviews right here. That's course review. Okay, it's taking us back to comment. You're going to see reviews on your courses. Then the next thing we have is under this LearnPress statistics. This is where you're going to see an overview, order, courses, and then users. You see the total sales, the total order, the total course. Remember, total courses, total instructor, and then total students. So all of this, and the sales, top courses sold, and you know, once you start getting traffic and making some of these sales and the likes, all of this analytics is going to make sense. All right, so that is it under this particular section. So the next thing we want to look at now is how to create page. All right, so to create a page now, so you come over here, you can see pages here, so you click on pages. All right, so this is where you can see the list of pages that we have, and the reason why we are having all of these pages is because, you know, we are working with a demo that's this with all these designs and layout already created. So some of these pages have already been created, and also some plugins that we install also created some of these pages for us. All right, to make it easier. All right, so if you want to create a new page, so you can see the options here to add page. All right, so maybe if there's a page here that you want to create that is not here. All right, so you can use this option to add a page to create a new page. But before we do a sample of that, now let's say we want to edit any information on this page, because definitely you are going to use some of these pages right here. So you might not even need to create so many pages, depending on the kind of sites you are creating and what pages you want to create. Because basically, when it comes to online course, all the pages that you need, they are here. You can see up to here. You can go click at the lower right to see the next set of pages. You know, some we have them too. For example, we have let's see, let me show you. We have some pages that are similar but different design or different layout. So if there's any page that you are not using, just unpublish them. All right, so just set them to draft. For example, I'm looking for a typical example. For example, we have this become an instructor. We have the one from Elementor, and then we also have another one from LearnPress. Okay, so anyone that you want to use between the two, fine. If there's a particular one that you are not using, just set it to, you know, you just do quick edits instead of publish, so just set it to drafts. All right, so just take note of that. Okay, for example, you can see we have two checkout page. So again, anyone you're not using, set them to draft, right? So now all of this page is created. If for any reason you want to in detail of any of them, so let's start with the home page, for example. Remember, this is our home page. This is what our home page looks like. The page was created using Elementor, and for you to know, if you look at it here where we have home, you can see it's showing us that this is our front page, and it was created with Elementor. So Elementor is also a page builder that we also use to create WordPress pages. All right. So we have a lot of them. We have Elementor, BV Builder, and the likes, but Elementor seems to be the most popular out of all. All right. So for you to edit it, so just come over here and click on this edit with Elementor. So let me just open it in a new tab. Also, while that is opening, if you're on the page like this and you are logged in as an admin, you see something at the top like this that edit with Elementor. Okay. You can also use this option on any page that you see this. That means that page was created with Elementor Page Builder, and you can easily click on it to edit it. All right. So once the page open up using Elementor Page Builder, this is what you're going to see. This is what it looks like. You're going to see what the page looks like. All right. And you're going to see different sections that you can actually edit. All right. So let me just show you a walkthrough if you are, especially if you are new to Elementor Page Builder. Now let's start with this. It's telling you that I'm currently on the home page, and I can click here to switch to other pages. All right. So it's telling me I'm on the home page. Now this is showing me what my website looks like on desktop. Okay, so you can see it here, because basically sometimes, website layout differs when you're on desktop and when you're on mobile. All right. And again, once you are designing your website to the Elementor Page Builder, there are sometimes it will look good on desktop, and when you switch to, let's say this is for tablets, you see that it's not looking too good. You might need to reduce some sizes, some fonts, or some spacing. All right. So this is for tablet view, and this is for mobile in landscape. All right. So if you are looking at the website on your phone in landscape mode, it's going to look like this. All right. And then if you are looking at it on mobile in portraits, so you can see this is what it looks like. And then you'll notice that on mobile, you can see that that image is not there. You can see that lady, she's not there on the mobile version. So if you scroll down, this is what our website looks like on mobile version. Okay, so the essence of this, like I said, is for you to see what your website will look like on different screen. Okay, so once you are working on your site, do make sure you switch between screens to be sure that it looks good on all screen. Away from that, we also have this publish option. So if you make any changes on this, once you are working on this page, maybe you add something, you make correction, you bring in an element, always publish. This is just like saving your work. All right. Then this is called structure. So once you click on it, this guy will appear. You can drag it around. You can shift it to your right. To create a should I call it a sidebar for itself? But I always like to have it floating around so that I can have enough space to work with. So basically, the structure shows you the different section of this particular page. All right, you can see if I click this section now, it's telling me that this part is about everything in this section, and I can click on this arrow. It will show me everything that is inside that section and how they have been arranged. Okay, all right. So because there are sometimes you might want to touch some element or pick certain things within a section that will not be clickable, or maybe depending on how I don't want to use the word complex, or depending on how some of these elements are close to each other. So this structure makes it easy for you to pick them. All right. So maybe I want to look for this section now. I've selected this. So that means this section, this is it right here. And what is under it? We have this column. Under this column, we have cost leaks. We have button, which is this button right here. All right. So if you don't need it, you can close it. But if you need it again, you just click here. This is for Finder. This is an announcement, what's new. And this is a checklist. All right. So this is history. If you make any changes or you make any mistake, you want to revert back, you can make use of this history. And then this is for page settings. All right. So basically, you might not need to do much here. All right. Especially if you are working with this demo, you might not need to do much, but I don't need to mention it in case you are new to WordPress. All right. And then we have this plus to bring back all of these widgets. Now, all these widgets are what you are going to drag into this page. All right. So you can see, because we are using a premium theme. All right. So there are a lot of widgets that are available to us. You can see this Thim basic. They have a whole lot of widgets for us, nav menu, site logo, social, and the like. Now, you won't need to use everything, and some might be duplicated, but the layout and design are different. A typical example, for example, okay, let me just search for menu now. Maybe we want to use the menu widget. So you can see that Eduma itself has a navigation menu. LearnPress, is it Thim? Thim itself has a navigation menu. Elementor itself also has its own navigation menu, although it's available in the Pro. and they also have a menu cart. Okay, so if I say maybe I want to put in a title, for example, see how it's yearly. Okay, so you can see that WordPress, I mean the Elementor itself, it has its own heading. This theme itself has its own uh, title, okay, that I can use. What else again? I think, okay, that's that. So as I see, some of them, but the way they will appear, the styling, the font, you know, the appearance generally will be different. Okay, so we have a whole lot of them. If you scroll down, some of these are the basic one. Okay, and then we have the Pro. This is for Elementor Pro. Okay, that's why you're having the padlock. But if you are using the Elementor Pro, you have access to it. These are some more options here. All right, and then even WooCommerce, because we install WooCommerce plugin, so they also have their own element. Right, Eduma theme itself has its own element, but you, like I said, you will need everything, and you know, even if you don't have access to the Pro, you can still have a good website, like you can see here. Okay, so if you want to change anything on this page, you can just go ahead and click on it. Okay, so once you click on any of these things, you're going to have a screen on this left. Okay, and if you want to know which widgets, or let me say, hold on, I should click on this plus. Now, if you want to know any widget or element, in case I call it interchangeably, just click on it and then just check this top here. You can see edit heading. That means this was created using heading. So for example, this part I say, what do you want to learn? It was created using edit courses searching. All right, that's also an element, or you can see course. Okay, you can see it here, courses searching. So this was what was dragged into this space. So you can see it right here. So when it was dragged there, it was formatted accordingly and to make it look like this. So I don't need this. Let me just delete it. Okay. So once you click on it, you'll be able to edit the information. For example, professional and lifelong learning. So you can see it here. This should be, so this online courses with certificate and diploma, you can see it here. This is it right here. And then the main title is empty. Let's see how, okay, under the subtitle professional and lifelong learning, this is it right here. So if you need to change anything, you can do so right here. So under it, you're going to be having content, you're going to be having style. This style is where you can set your typography, you can set your text color, your main title typography. If you use subtitle, you can set the colors also and the typography. Under advanced is where we have this layout where you can add margin and padding and the likes. Okay, so I want to just go through it briefly. Now for the categories also, if you click on it, you can see now this part that you're seeing that is making it look like this, they actually did it using a particular custom code. If you come to advanced and then you come to custom CSS, so you can see it here. This is what is responsible for this kind of appearance. Okay, so the same thing if you also scroll down, the most interesting occupations. So if you want to change it, just click on it. If you want to see this now, this is a course category. All right, now this course category, if you want to change the way it appears, so you can see the layout is grid. If I change it to list category, maybe I want it to be a form of a list, so you can see this how it look like. But I think it's okay if you want to use a tab slider. Okay, so you can see it to look like this, but I think it's okay as a grid. Okay, so show count course, yes. Show subcategory if you want to do that. Limit category, it is currently set to 5. That's why I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe you want to do 4, you can reduce it. So you can see right here. So let me take it back to 5. Okay, you can see I selected limit category to 4. Number of column is set to 5. That's why you're seeing this space here. So if I also reduce it to 4, it will fit appropriately. Okay, so you can see that. All right, so let's just leave it at 4. Okay, so under styling, this is where you can set your column gap. It's currently set to 30. So you can see it here. If I should increase it, you can see the gap is increasing. Now, like I usually say, once you are working with Elementor, if you make any changes, always try to see the effect. If you can't see the effect, just return it back to what it was. Okay, so if you also want to change the title, so let's say the title color, for example, is currently set to a default color. Maybe I want to change it to orange. Let's see where does it apply to. Okay, so let me undo this. So like I see now, I've changed this title, this text color to orange. but I can't really see where it is changing. So let me just return it back to what it was. So I just click here and I clear. Okay, so then for item, so you can set the alignment, the text color. Okay, sorry, the background color. Okay, and then the text color. Okay, so the text color is for this particular text right here. So let's say I want to change this to, let's see, to this. Okay, so you can see this is changing into orange. All right, so let me just see if I can. Okay, that clear is to clear it. So let me return it back to the other color. So this is where this comes handy. All right, text color. All right, so I've returned it back to, so I've used this history. So don't forget to always publish. So the same way now, this part I talked about at the beginning of the video. So now I've clicked here. This is created using edit course list. All right, so it is, the scheme color is set to tab. You decide to also use slider if you choose. Okay, so you can see how the slider option will look like. Okay, then let's see what the tab looks like. So this is the tab, how it will appear. But I'm okay with the slider because it allows me to show quite a number of courses. So you can see it here. Okay, and then this is where you're going to select the category. Out of this, which category do you want to appear? We currently said business strategy, engineering, management. So these are, it should bring courses from this category. Okay, so if you don't want it to bring from okay, so you can see if you didn't select anything, it will just pick it, you know, from all the categories. It can pick it based on, you can see select category. Is it based on when the courses were created? Is it based on title, or should just pick it randomly? And I'm sure it's currently using based on dates, and that is why we are seeing this course. You can see this is the recent course we just created. That's why this is coming first. So you can also select to random. So if you put it to random, each time you come on the website, it might just rearrange itself. All right. Do you want it to be in decreasing order or ascending order? Number of posts is set to 8. Okay, so this is the slider here that you can use to adjust it. If you want to put it to tab, let's see. Okay, like I said, I don't want to use tab. Let's see what default looks like. Okay, so the default too is not looking bad. All right, and you can see we are having 8, which is here. Number of posts, number of column is set to 4. If you want it to be in 3 column, you can also have it in 3 column, but make sure that means this one should be 6 or 9 so that it can be equal. Okay, so let me just leave it back to 4. All right, so okay, so let me just put the number of posts to be 4. Okay, so then there's this button to view. Now under style, so this is where you can set your column gap. Okay, row gap. Okay, so it was too close earlier. That was why I reduced it. Let me take it back to 8. So let me take it back to 8. So now let's come to style, row gap. Okay, so let's add some gap. Okay, I think that should be fine. All right, so you can just play around with some of these things, but hey, they are okay the way they are in most cases. So except if you just need to, that's why I'm going through all of this. So don't forget to publish. So that's how you can work on this. Then this button. So once you click on this button, if you want to change the information, your view all courses, you can see it right here, view all courses. And then the link that you go to, do you want to open a new window? If you want that to do this, the alignment, if you want it to be right aligned or center aligned or everything. Under style, style is where you can set all of these effects. You can see if I hover it, it's changing to orange. And that's because under over, you see it here, background color changes to orange, text color changes to white. You can see when I hover white, okay? And then the border color, you can see the border width is 1. If I hover it, the border changes to orange. So you can see it here. So this is where you can do all of those settings. All right, the same thing here. Now, upcoming events. Now, I mentioned this earlier for events. So if I should click on it now, show category all, upcoming events, happening events. What are the events that you want to show? Do you want to also show expired events? Okay, so if I should take this out now, that maybe only upcoming an event that is happening right now, you can see nothing here because most of the events here are already past the dates. That is why it was not showing earlier. All right. So number of posts is set to 3 and the like. So don't forget to always publish. Now, if there's any section that you don't want, you can see this right here. You can just go ahead and delete section and it will delete the entire thing. So if you want to change this also, you can just click here and put in appropriate image or logo of businesses. All right. And if you want to bring in any new section also, you can see anywhere you want to bring, you can see this plus, just click on this plus, and then you come over here and click here. You can choose from flex to grid. So once you click here, you select the layouts that you want to use. So maybe you want to use this 2 column. All right, so you can see here, and then maybe any element that you want to bring in, then you can go ahead and bring in here. You can select anything that you want to use here. So let's see if we can bring in something. Maybe you want to use an image. So you bring in an image box. Okay, and then you can put any information that best fits depending on what you want to do. And then let's see, maybe since you are using 2 column, let's see, let me look for just COURSE. Instructor count, courses, course price, course wish list. Okay. One course instructor, course category. Okay. Just anything that you think you want to put in there. You might want to put in an image. You can see you want to put in maybe Instagram feed, something from your social media. Okay, so this would need some setup. Okay, so let me just take this off. All right, so anything you want to do, just put it like that, and then you'll be able to create a new section. All right, this is for testimonial section. Okay, you can see it was created using testimonial. You can click on it to edit the information right here. So maybe you don't have an app yet and you want to take this out, you can just go ahead and delete it, or you can use this section for something else, right? So don't forget to always publish. So basically that's just a brief run through on how to edit pages using Elementor. If you need more in-depth on how to edit a page using Elementor and everything, just let me know in the comment section. I can do a separate video. So I can't do everything like that in this video. If not, it will be too long. But if I get enough requests, I'll do so in a separate video, right? So now that's it on how to, the same way we did for the home page. If I come over to pages, if you want to do any other page, especially the ones that was written edit with Elementor, for example, this FAQ page, if we should view it, I've opened it in a new tab. So it was also created using Elementor. So you do the same thing. You can see edit with Elementor. So once you want to edit all of this, you can see this information was created using dummy text. So if you want to change it to yours, so just come over here, also click on edit with Elementor, click on it, and then you update all this information as the way that best suits you. If I should come back to pages, okay, now not all pages were created with Elementor. There are some pages that were created using some short code. Now let me give you an example. For example, if we should come to, let me view this cart page. So if I should open this in a new tab, let me open this instructor page. Let me open this. What other page? So let's see. Some of these pages were created with shortcode. So I'm going to leave a link to some of those LearnPress shortcode that were used to create some pages. I'm back to the pages side. Okay. So now, apart from creating pages with Elementor, there are some pages that were recreated rather using shortcode. Now, a typical example is this forget password page. So once you put in this shortcode, all right, it's going to create the page itself. All right, the forget password page. Another example is this my account page. Okay, this is a WooCommerce shortcode. Another one is this reset password. Okay, so I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video so that in case you want to create a page that will involve you using this shortcode. All right, so this doesn't require anything that has to do with Elementor itself. Okay, except if you want to just go further and then you want to make it. You can also do it with Elementor, fine, but you still need to insert this code into that Elementor. So if you just want a simple page like that, there's not too much paparazzi when you're creating some of these pages. Okay, so that is it on pages. And if you need to create any pages, just come over here and click on add page, and right here you put in your title of the page. And then if you want to create it with Elementor, once you put in your title and then you set your templates, maybe if this default template is okay, fine. If the default template is not okay, you can adjust between maybe Elementor full weight rather, or maybe anyone that is okay. All right, but default to Elementor full width should be fine. All right, now for the layouts, you might not need to touch this because there's a place where you're going to set the layouts for the entire website. Okay, so once you do that, you go ahead and publish, and once you publish, you click on edit with Elementor, and then you can decide to use Elementor page builder to create any other page that you want to create. And if it is a page that requires you with short code, just put in the title of the page, enter the short code, and then just go ahead and publish. All right, so those are the ways that you can create your pages. All right, so with that being said, now let's go ahead and check out how to create our menu. So I'm back to the dashboard. So you're currently back on our dashboard. So for you to access your menu, so you scroll down from all of these options here, you come to appearance. Under appearance, you see menu. So once you click it, this page is going to open up. All right. Now let's look at our website again. Now, if you look at it, this is the menu right here. So I'm sure you definitely don't want to use this menu. So we are going to create our own menu. Now to create your menu, you need to be creative with your menu, and to get ideas for your menu, one of the things I would recommend is check out other websites, other online course websites, the likes of Udemy, Coursera, EDX, and the likes. Check out how they structure their menu. So that would give you idea or inspiration on how to, get some of the options that will be in your menu. One thing I noticed with their menu is that, there are not too many things there. Right, so you might just have just few things, and with a search button and something to log in and log out. Okay, so not too many options there. All right, so you might need to take note. So just take your time to study their menu, and then you know what to do. But for you to create your menu, now this is the menu that was created there. Okay, basically this is just to show you the different pages that are available to you. All right, so not necessarily a menu. All right, so but if you want to create yours, once you are here, just go ahead and click this option, create a new menu. So let me just go ahead and create a new menu. So you are going to give your menu a name. So I can just call this main menu 1. So let me just call this main menu 1. And then you go ahead and click on create menu. Guys, if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are still here to subscribe to the channel, kindly go ahead right now, click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. All right, so now the next thing I want to add is menu items. Okay, you can see we are currently on menu 1. Now you can have as many menu as possible. Okay, for example, now if we look at our footer, you can see all of this now. Although this was not created using menu, I'm still going to walk you through. But you can also use a menu. You can have a category menu and have a list of category under it. You can have maybe top courses, and then you list some courses under it, features, Again, just go through other online course websites and see how they structure both their header menu and their footer menus. Some online course websites have 3 levels of menu, 3 levels, and you see something like this here, you see another one, just especially like EDX and the likes. Okay, but if you are just starting out, maybe you don't have much courses, or you don't have a large content on your website, you might just start small. All right, so for you to add different menu options, you can see add menu items from the column on the left. So you can choose from pages. Okay, so you can use some of your pages to create menu. You can also use posts. That's like maybe your blog post. You can use a custom link. So you just put in the link here, and then you put in a text here. You can use category, and then we will come as endpoints. All right, so let's start with pages. So let's say I want to have my home. So this is currently set to most recent. Let me click on view all. I want to have my home. I want to have, let's say this become an instructor. Okay, and then I also want to have courses. Okay, and then let's just say those 3, for example. All right, so once I've selected what I want to use, I'll click on add to menu, and you can see it here. So you can rearrange them. Okay, you can see you can rearrange it. Okay, so it all depends on you. And then if you want to have it as a sub menu, you just bring it like this. Okay, so that means this courses will be a sub menu under home, just like what we are having here. So if I should go to the top, just like you can see here, under courses, we have course grid and list. Okay, so this is how these things were done. So that means under courses, they shifted this tool to the right, which is what you are seeing here. Right, so if I shift this tool now, that means these courses and become an instructor will be a sub menu under home. All right, so let me just return it back. Okay, so let's say this is what I want to use as IMO for tutorial purpose. I go ahead and click on save. Okay, so you can, like I said, you can go ahead and create as many as possible. If you want to use custom link, you can also do that here. All right, so you just put in the link where you want it to go, you put in the text and click on add to menu. All right, so once that is done, now you will not see it immediately here, it will not come up immediately. Okay, you can see it's still maintaining the previous menu that is there. I'll still show you where to do that, but basically that is how you can create your menu. All right, now away from that, maybe once we are done, but before then, you still be seeing this option that store is coming soon. So for you to fix this, Let's open it in a new tab so that our store can go live. All right, so you can see it here, site visibility. Your site is hidden for visitors behind a coming soon landing page. So for it to go live, just click on live and then click on save changes. All right, so anytime you want to come here, under WooCommerce, you come to settings, and under settings, you see site visibility. All right, so I now need to add that. Next we want to look at is if you're on your dashboard, from your dashboard, you see if you scroll down from your left of these options or all these menus on the left, you see this theme Elementor. So just over it and then you click on all templates. All right, and then you're going to come to this page. Now, right here, what you're going to see is basically there are some pages on your website that were created using this theme Elementor pages. All right, so I need to walk you through in case you just need to modify any of them or to do some addition to some of them. Now, starting with is the header. So if I should click on header, all right, so it makes it easy for me to locate the header. So let me show you what's right here. This is where you're going to edit the header section of our website. Now, when we talk about header, the header consists of this part that has the logo, this menu. Remember, we've created a separate menu where we called it main menu 1, I think. And then we also have this part. So this part here is what makes up the header. All right, so if you want to modify this or edit this, so this is where you are going to do it. You can see header. So if I should click on view, so you can see it here, it's just showing us the header and the footer. It will also show you the footer, by the way, but this is our core interest, the header section. All right, so once you are there, you can just come over here and click on edit with Elementor. All right, so once it opens up like this, let me see if I'm still recording. Hello. So once it opens up like this, you can see we have access to edit all of this information right there. So starting with this at the top, so if you click on it, you can change this text where we have special welcome gift, get 30% discount, 30% off your first purchase with the code. So if you want to change this, you can now put in something different. Let's say with the code, maybe you can even put something else apart from this. Okay, so this is where you can change the information like this. Find out more, it's linking somewhere. So if you want to create a link like that, just highlight the text. Okay, and then you see this insert link, so you go ahead and then you put in the link. Okay, so that's how you modify that section. And if you don't want it, you can just see it right here. You delete this container. All right, so next to it we have this profile login. So I don't think you might not need to change this. Okay, show sub info user. If you want, if you turn this on, you can see it to show you your username. All right, so if you don't want that, you can just turn this off. All right, so the layout, you can do icon and text. Okay, so you can see, I think the icon and text looks good. Okay, then for the style, this is where you can also change. You can see the register label. You can change the text color. It's currently set to white. The login label, logout label, and every other things. Okay. So now, then the next one, this is for logo. So if you click here now, it's showing edit icon. So you want to change your logo. Once you click here, you can see. Then you click on this. This is what they use here basically is icon, but what we need is a logo. So what you do is you click on this plus. You can just go ahead and delete this. So let me right click and then delete. Okay, so I'll just search for logo. So you can see we have option for site logo. You bring it in, and then our logo should appear once you have uploaded a logo to your site. Or I don't think we've uploaded one just yet here. We've not uploaded logo. There's a section where you are going to upload logo when we get customization. So once you do that, our logo will show up right here. Another thing you can also do for this logo site is to put in an image. So we are going to be having something like this image. So you're just going to look for image. Okay. So it might look, but you need to adjust it so that it can fit the size of your logo. So those are the two ways you can actually do that. All right, then the image, another thing you need to do is to link it. So you can say link custom URL, so you link it to your own page. All right, so you can just put in your own page link here. All right, so that once they click on the logo, it takes them to their own page. So those are two ways to go about it. So let me delete this. The one I put here earlier, I hope it's still there. So let me just click on the history site logo. Okay, so let me go back and then put in logo. So once we upload our logo, it will appear here, right? So for the menu, so if I should click here now, this is for the menu side, the navigation menu. So now select menu. So now we are going to select our main menu 1. Okay, you can see main menu 1. So you can see home, courses, become an instructor. Remember, that was what we used to create this menu one. All right. So if there's any other thing you need to change, if you want to change this search icon, you can see it right here. All right. Then we have this dark mode widget or element right here. So if you want to maintain it, you can leave it right there. Okay. Then this register course. This is actually a button. Okay. Register course is actually a button. I can use this for become for something else. You can just use it for any other thing. Okay. But let's say for now I don't need it. I can just right click and then delete it. Okay. So it's as simple as that. So once you're done, don't forget to publish. So with that, we've been able to update the header. Now, if you want to change the color, let's say you want to change the color for this entire background now. So if you click here, you come over to style, you see background. So you already see that the background color is white. Okay, the reason why you are seeing this dark color is because you are currently in the dark mode. All right, so if you come over here and then if I should switch it to the light mode, you can see that it's actually white. Okay, so that is how you can go ahead and modify it. Even this one at the top also, if you want to change the background, once you click here, you come over to style, you're going to see background and you can see right here. So you can see this effect is not does not affect this. So you can see the background color for this is this shade of should I say navy blue. All right, so that is it for the header. So if I should come back to this page now, you can see we've done that of the header. So now for the footer also, so let me come to all templates. So we are going to look for that of the footer also for our website. So that's the same place we are going to create this section here. All right, so for that, if you should scroll down, I think it's somewhere, then you can go to the next page. So if you, okay, this is it right here for the footer. All right, so let's open that. Let me show you the footer. So I open it in a new tab, so you can see that this is our footer right here. So if you want to modify the footer of the website, that's how you go ahead and do it. So since I've opened it up, I can just click on edit with Elementor because I'm already on the footer section. All right, or if maybe if you are here, you can just go ahead and click on edit with Elementor. Right, it's still the same page. It will take you here. You can see we're already in the footer. So if you want to change the footer now, this is how you can go ahead and change it. Remember for this now, what they use here is also icon. So you can change this to your logo. So let me delete this and then search for logo. Site logo. All right, I've not uploaded logo, so that's why it's blank. But once we upload a logo, it will show up properly. Now, another thing I might want to put in, maybe if I put a plus, maybe I want to put in some text or some information here. So I'll just look for the widget for that. So I can use a text editor. All right, so I can just put in some text to show up even after the logo. This button, contact sales. Maybe in case if you don't need it, just delete it. You can just put in any other thing you want to put here. All right, then once this, you can also format it properly. To do that, you come to style, you set the under typography, you can set the size that you want. So maybe you want to put it to, okay, I think to 16. Okay, you can set the weight also. All right, so that's for typography. Here you text shadow, we don't actually need it. Then text color. Okay, so maybe I want it to be, if I should click on this custom, it will show me all the pre-available color. All right, so if I want it to be a little thicker or bold, that will be the weight. So maybe 400. Okay, no, 600. I think 600 is too much. 500. All right, I think that should be fine. All right, so you can just be creative with your footer. Now, if you want to change all these parts here, now again, just like I mentioned for header, if you want to create your footer, also you can get inspiration from other online course websites and see how they create their footer. All right, so for this, under these categories now, it is quite okay. You can list out all the categories of courses that you have on your site. Okay, so once you click on them, you can see this was created using header info, not menu. You can also use menu to create this, but the header info also makes a lot of sense. So just click on each of them. Okay, if like this now is design, you change the text to whatever category that is on your site. Maybe you don't have design, you can change this to web. Maybe you have a category for web design. Okay, and then here you put in a link, put in the link to this web design. All right, and then you repeat the same thing for each and every one of them. All right, now for this part that is showing sales, okay, So if you want to do this, it's under crafts. So this is crafts right here. What they did was, after adding the text and then putting the link, what you are going to do is to add an SVG. Okay, so you upload an SVG for sales. So that's what the same thing happened with this popular new and hiring. All right, so let me just give you some idea. You can use this for category. You can use this for, so if you want to edit this title, you can use this place for maybe top courses. Top courses, and then you can just use a short title. Then you can just use this maybe for, like I said, just get ideas from other websites, okay, to know how you can arrange your footer. All right, so you can also use this one for quick, like this is okay for quickly, maybe about us, security, contact us, career, become, privacy policy, accessibility. It is also okay at the footer. Now this, once you click here too, you can also change your copyright. Okay, so maybe 2026, then PA Academy. So then I'll take off this Eduma. So if I should highlight this PA Academy, then I'll just link it to home. So if I search for home, exactly, so your home page will come out like that. Okay, so you can see it right here. So that's how to update this. Oh, this copyright right. So that's how to do this. If you also click here, you can adjust the social icon. You can see it right here. It was created using social. If you click on Facebook, it's already there. So what you just need to put is the link to each of those respective social media profile. And if you don't need it, you can just, right click on this and then you delete. Okay, so with that, now you'll be able to modify your footer. All right, so you can also come up with something different than this, for your footer section. It's all fine. All right, so just make sure any changes, you go ahead and publish. All right, so that's it for footer. Now another thing is this. Now you see all this code you are seeing, this short code, this Thim EKIT and then H2O. Now any of this that you are seeing here, any of these templates that you are seeing here, if you want to use it on any section of the website, all right, if you have a place where you can put in this short code, it will automatically appear there. All right, I hope this makes sense. All right, if you are working with Elementor, and then instead of having all these things, once you have done the design, if you want to put it on a particular section of the page, what you just need to do is to use, you click on, when you're on that particular page, click on this plus, set for shortcode. All right, so this shortcode here, so let's say I want to bring it here. Let's see. Okay, I can't seem to drop it. Okay, I can't drop it here. So once you use this shortcode, you'll be able to put in those shortcode, and that entire design will show up. All right, I think we are going to see it under customization option. Now there's another one again that I want to show you. When we come to single course, all right, so single course default. So if I should view, let's view this now. So guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. Now on that single course, you notice that if you are viewing all the courses, you are seeing this design here, this banner here. All right, I'm sure you won't want it to be appearing all over your website, because you can see it is having the logo of the theme you are using. So for you to modify this, okay, so if you are here, because this is what it's used in almost all of them, right? And if you want to be sure, you can see under edit condition, you can see it's showing across all the courses. All right, so that means that this is the default template for all courses. All right, so what you do is the same thing, edit with Elementor. So let's click on it. So once it opens up like this, so you can see it will give you access to this section. So you can decide to delete this entire container, all right, like this particular one, or you can just modify it to something better. All right, so I don't want to show you where it is. So this is where you can do that. All right, so you can click here to change all of this, okay, and this to put in something better. You can also put in a banner or something for a course, or to other courses. Just be creative with it. And if you don't want it at all, you can just let me see, you can just right click and click on delete, okay, and that takes it out. Okay, but then I would just encourage you to use it for something better. All right, maybe like an ad or something. The ad can also redirect within your website. Okay, so just be creative with that. All right, and then this link, this button, make sure you update it. All right, depending on what you want to use with it and do with this particular section anyway. That's if you choose not to delete it. So once you click on this link, this is where you can update the link. All right. So with that, now let's come back to, if I come back to our dashboard, I think I've left that page. Again, I'm coming to this and then all templates. So away from that, you can also check out others. So this is for course search. This is for, now apart from this single course, there are some other page that has this stuff here. All right, so just come here and locate it. So once you locate it, and then you can simply use the edit with Elementor option to, customize it how best you want to use it. Okay, so that is it on this particular theme Elementor, this particular menu. So let's move to the next one. So the next thing we want to look at now is the customization option. All right. So if I come back to my dashboard just to make sure that we are starting on a fresh page. Okay. So on the dashboard now, if you scroll down from all of these options that you're seeing here under appearance, you're going to see customize. Okay. So let's go ahead and click on customize. Okay. So there are a lot of other options that are available under customize that we also need to look at one after the other. So starting with general, so if I should click on general, so this is where I'm going to upload our logo. So if I should click on logo now, okay, so you can see we don't have any logo. So let me just click on select image. This is where I'm going to put in our logo. If you have your logo, you upload it. But let me see if I can see something I can use as logo. All right, so let me see. So let me just go ahead and use this their image for our logo. So I've selected this and I click on select. Okay. Now you can see like what I was saying earlier, that once we upload our logo, it will appear here and you can see it right here. We already have the logo coming up here. However, this logo is not showing up in that background. Let's see. Okay, you can see it right here, so it's not showing up. But let's see what if we change the theme to bright color. Okay, so what you can do is you can have a logo that will show up both on the light and dark version. And the best thing, one of the things that you can do with that is to, when you're creating your logo, maybe you can add a outline. Okay, so, or you can use there's some shortcode you can use to correct that, but we won't be going that route. So away from that, we've added logo. So let me return it back. I kind of like this dark mode. Okay, so we've done logo. Then for layouts, so this is talking about your site layouts. This is the current layout that is there. Now this part here, you might not really need to adjust anything here, but just in case you need to. So this is your site layout. If you want to do your page layout, okay, then switch layout style. If you want to change the layout for your, so you can see switch list and grid for products and course. All right, so if you want to switch how your product and your course page will show up, you can also do that from here. Okay, so away from that, we have page title layout. So for your page title, there are certain page. Let me click on courses. So if you want to select how it will appear, it is currently set to this. If I should choose this now, let's see what happens. And again, just like I said when we're on Elementor, if you make any changes and you can't see the effect immediately, just return it back to the default. Okay, I think it doesn't apply to the courses page, but I think it should apply to blog page. Okay, and I don't have the link. Okay, so that's it for this part here. If we want line title and the likes, away from that, we have social share, we have Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Okay, and then let's say if we have there's a custom code here, so make sure you just leave it the way it is. Okay, what else? Sidebar. All right, sticky sidebar. We have a sticky sidebar. Anywhere we have sidebar, so that's the option right there. Then for extra features, so for example, we have this back to the top. If you're almost scrolling down, you see it right here. You can see it. So if you want to use this, you can change it to this. Then we have preloader. Actually, I don't think we use preloader, but if you want to use it, you can choose from any of these. All right, so those are the options here. Then for the 404 page, show footer and header is currently turned on. All right, so don't forget to always publish if you make any changes. Then we've looked at layout and all of these. Those are the options under general. If you come over to header, so you can select your, okay, so we can't do anything in this header. Remember, we've done everything that has to do with header when we use this. Let me go back to the dashboard from here. So we've done header under that theme Elementor when we looked at this particular menu here. So that has overwritten everything that we can do under header right here. Then toolbar also, we can't do anything here. Main menu, that has overwritten everything right here. Okay, so let's go back. So for site identity, this is where you put in your site title and then your tagline. Now if I should show you something now, let's see. Now you see this online learning redefined. So you can be creative with this tagline to create a tagline that has some keywords that is related to online course and your website. Okay. So for example, let me show you this. I hope I can do that. Okay. So you'll be able to see it. Now, if I should over on my menu, you can see it showing PA Academy and then online learning redefined. So you can see it right here. So whatever you put as your tagline is what will show up right there. So your site icon, remember when we started the video, when we were doing the normal regular settings, we were able to add site icon. I said there's another place we can do it. So this is where you can also do your site icon. So your site icon should also be preferably your logo. So let me go back and use this. So with this now, if you are using a smaller one, you can now select which part of the logo you want to use. Okay, I think let me just use this right here. So click on crop and you can see a preview here. Okay, I think it's showing that it has an error. Maybe the image is too small or something, I don't know. Okay, skip cropping. Okay, I was able to skip cropping and it was able to pick everything. All right, that's fine. Okay, so that's it on page title. Then we have blog. So for blog also, okay. Now you can see that for this blog also, it's saying that the Thim Elementor has overwritten some of the settings that we can do on that blog. All right. So, and that's because if I should come back here and then we look at this Thim Elementor, you see that under all templates, there are sections that talks about blog, where let's see a single post. So you can see there's a settings for that. You know, there's also some other parts that talks about blog. All right, so this has overwritten that. That's why we can't really customize anything from there. So you have to come and do it from here. So that's why I said you can take your time to look at all of this and then to understand where they are. All right, and in case you need to do any correction or any adjustment there, but definitely you will not just need to. That's a matter of personal preference. So for courses, so this is a course setting. Enable login pop-up when take this course with user not login. So when user is not logging, there should be a pop-up. Enable course offline, no. Course price color is currently set to this orange, and that is what you can see right here. Okay, and then loop item paid grid. Okay, you can select from any of these layouts. Okay, so those are the options under settings, and then archive pages. Now for archive pages, you can see this page is built by Thim Elementor Kit. You can edit and configure it here. You can see these archive pages. I think I saw you can see archive. Okay, so it's archive course, archive posts. Okay, so once anything tells you that it has been overwritten by this, then this is where you come and do any settings that you need to do there. All right, or any modification or something. So single posts, single pages also, collection pages. All right, so this is available. All right, away from courses, we have WooCommerce, store notice, enable store no, because you're already live. So this is there's no need for us to enable this. Product catalog. Basically, we are not using the basic reason why we are using this WooCommerce is because we want to use their payment system. All right, then for checkouts, okay, this is not accessible. All right, then for events, so the events section under home. So for that events page, let's see, if you scroll down where we have, if you click on view all events, it should take you to the events page. So it's telling you what layouts do you want to use. Do you want to show breadcrumb or not? The background color, the title color, this, the subtitle color, you can set all of those right here. You can see the tab color if you want to change that. All right, so away from events, we also have portfolio. I think we didn't use portfolio, you remember? Okay, so if you use portfolio, you have access to this. Then for footer, let's see footer settings. So if you should scroll down, these are the colors. Right? The over color is set. You can see the over color is set to this orange. If I should over any of this, okay, and then every other thing you can do the font. But I think you can also, since we created this using Thim Elementor, okay, so that is what is actually working here. All right, so away from this, then the copyright. Okay, now this particular footer is not this one here. Take note, this footer you are seeing here is not this particular footer. This footer is the one that was created using this particular one. Okay, all right, so let's scroll down. Mobile footer nav bar. So let's switch to, now if you're on this customization, you can see you are currently on desktop. You can switch to tablet and you can switch to mobile. All right, so you can see on mobile view, this is how the website will look like on mobile. All right, so if you look at the footer, you can see that we have these 4 icons here, and this is where you can enable or disable mobile footer navigation bar. So you can see it that let's see. So you can see this home, courses, search, and account. You can see it's home, courses, search, and account. All right, you can also rearrange them how best you want. Okay, and then the color, you can see the background color is set to white, the text is this color, and the over and active is set to orange. So as you can see here, so this is where you can change them. Login pop-up from option, if you want that, you can turn it on. Okay, so let's go back. Then for widgets, I'll show you a separate place where we can work with widgets, not here. And then for menu, I really don't have much to do here because we've set up our menu already. All right, so with that, now we've gone through all the options that is available under customization. So just make sure you go ahead and publish. So with that, let's go back to our dashboard. So I'll just X out of this to go back to our dashboard. So again, we are back to our dashboard. All right, so from the dashboard now, I mentioned widgets earlier, that there's a separate place where we can attend to widgets. So if you come to appearance and then you click on widgets, all right, so you're going to be seen with this screen here, and then you're going to see a lot of widget option. Now we have the sidebar, the toolbar, the menu bar, the footer top, and then it talks about basically about the footer and then the sidebar. However, based on the layouts that we currently have on our website for the pages, you see that a lot of sidebar we are not used because most of the pages we are using the Thim Elementor to create some of those pages dedicatedly. All right, so we won't be using more of this sidebar. All right, however, if your own design, especially if you are doing yours from scratch or you want to create something different and then you need to access your sidebar, all right, so this is where you can actually do it. Okay, it's preferable rather to do it from here. All right, and you can pick from any of these widgets to add to your sidebar. You can see them right here. There are a whole lot of them. You can even see even the theme itself has its own set of widgets that you can put into any of your sidebar, not only for your sidebar, but all of this, maybe your toolbar, your menu right, your footer top or footer bottom, or your footer itself. Okay, so that is it on widget. Now the next thing I want to do is, if you scroll down again, you're going to see this option where we have users. So if you click on it, here you are going to be seeing all the users on your website, including those that are logged in either as an instructor, either as a student, or maybe as an administrator. All right, so here is my own account that I've created. Now, if I need to edit it, because if you look at the upper right of your screen, you see that it's showing just my email. So what if I don't want it to appear like that? I can just go ahead and click on edit. All right, so right here too, there are different options as an admin. If you want to change your administrator color scheme, you can see there are different options to choose from. You know, some persons like this midnight, okay, you know, depending on matter of preference, but I'm okay with this default. All right, another thing is this username cannot be changed. So I want it to show as PA Academy. So I'll just put in here PA Academy. All right, so once you put it that, you will see this option display name publicly as. Click on it and it will appear here. All right, if you put in a first name and a last name, it will show you different combination and then that you want to use. So if you also want to change your email, you can do that from here. All right, so you can give yourself a bio about yourself. You can also upload a profile picture that will also show up here. You can see it has already shown as PA Academy instead of the email, which is more better. All right, and also it is better like this than the email. All right, so this is cost commission. It's just showing me my commission if at all I have any, and billing information. All right, so once you are done with that, just go ahead and click on updates. All right, and that is done. Now another thing I want to do from this user is, if I come over to all user again, another thing I want to do is, if you want to add user to the back end of your website, especially as an admin, okay, you can see the option here, click on add user. So basically, the idea behind this is, if you want to give somebody else access to especially the back end of your website, okay, maybe as an admin or something. So this is where you're going to put in some of those information. You put in their username, you put in their email. These two information are required. All right, their username, their email. Then you can go ahead and put in the first name, last name, website, and then the password. Okay, so by default, it's to generate password for you, but you can also use yours. All right, put in your password. All right, so this is send the new user an email about their account, which is advisable. So now this role is where you're going to give them a role. Like I said, if you give them the role of an administrator, they have the same right and access as you, and they can also kick you out as an admin. Okay, although there's a way to also avoid that, but basically that's just the fundamental of it. Okay, so depending on by default they'll be set as subscriber. So you can also set maybe as a contributor, author, or editor. So as an editor also, it limits the role when you compare it to that of an administrator, but editor has more roles compared to author, just like that. There are different levels, so you might need to check up the difference between all of these roles, and so that you can understand it properly and know what to assign them. So once you are done, just go ahead and click on add user, and that is it on adding user. All right, so guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, and now the next thing you want to look at is payment. How do you set up payment so that you can receive payments on your website, especially on paid courses? So that's the next thing we want to look at now. To set up payments, and back to our dashboard. So remember where we're on LearnPress, you come over to settings. Now remember we've also installed the plugin that allow us to accept payments using WooCommerce. So if you come to payments, just a quick reminder, under WooCommerce payment, that is if you want to allow other kind of payment apart from PayPal, because by default you can only use PayPal. But if you want to use other payment system and you've installed the WooCommerce payments plugin like I showed you earlier at the beginning of the video, make sure this part is enabled. Okay, if enabled, system will use payments checkout page options of WooCommerce instead of LearnPress. All right, so take note. So once this is done, now you scroll down to where you have WooCommerce, like you can see here, and then you click on settings. All right, so once you click on settings, you'll be directed to this page. To this page rather. Now under this WooCommerce, you can see settings. You come over to payments. All right, so this is where we are going to set up our WooCommerce payment, which is what we are going to be using for our website. All right, so right here you are going to see different payment options. All right, and then remember your store location. Remember to set your store location, and your store location this time around, because we are working with WooCommerce, is come over to general. This is also very important. Make sure you fill in all these details: your address, your city, your country, all of these details. Okay, make sure you fill it: your selling location, your shipping location. Then do you want to charge tax? If yes or no, make sure you fill your currency. Okay, because we are trying to use WooCommerce payment system, so all of this is very important. So back to payment. Now the payment we want to use is Stripe. So for you to be able to use Stripe, I won't just be clicking, because you can see Stripe logo, you can see Square logo, and some other payments. But for you to use it, come over and download. There's a particular plugin that comes highly recommendable when you want to use either Square payment or Stripe payments. So come over to plugins. Let me click on add new. Let me open that in a new tab. So search for, so once you just type in Stripe, or you can just type in payments plugin for Stripe WooCommerce. All right, so just go ahead and install this. Then you come to install plugin, because I didn't activate it earlier. All right, so let's see. So this is it right here. So just go ahead and activate it. So once this is activated, we are currently on the main page. So just come to settings. All right, so you can see you come to settings right here. It's still the same thing if you should refresh this page earlier. All right, so we are still on the payments section. So you can see all of these options will be available to you now that we've installed this Stripe payments. So with this now, you can see card option is currently available for us to use. Now this page that I am, if you're on WooCommerce, you come to settings. All right, you see general, and then you see payments. Let's check this. Okay. So the use of credit card is currently, you can see it's enabled. So if you also want to use, with respect to Stripe, if you also want to use any of this, you can see they are available. So you just have to enable any one of them that you want to use. Okay, so you can see it right here. Now to set it up is what you're going to do on this page. Now you can see the API mode. So for the mode now, we want it live. You select live. That means when you want to start to receive payments that into your Stripe account, okay, you set it to live. All right, then the next thing you want to do is to click here where it says click to connect. So make it easy to connect to Stripe. So once you go ahead, click here. Okay, I've changed this to live. So let me save changes. It's very important to save all of those changes. So click. Okay, what did I not save again? Okay, so all right, so click to connect. I've clicked this now. So what it will do, it will connect you to Stripe. If you don't have a Stripe account, so just go ahead and create a Stripe account. So I'll just put in my email for Stripe right here. So if you already have an account, you've shown something like this, and then you just select the account that you want to use, or you can create a new one, then you click on connect. All right. So, but if you don't have an account, to show you a different screen where you can just go ahead and set up an account. Okay, so once that is done, you'll be redirected back to your website. Okay, so you can see, let's start it. You select your business location, your business type, choose what is applicable, and then you click on continue. Right, so once you are connected and you follow the process, now if you are creating a new account, it's pretty much straightforward once you are being redirected to Stripe. Now, if you are not, if you are in a location where Stripe is not allowed, you might need to consider a payment gateway depending on your location. I can't just give recommendation right now, but if Stripe is not allowed in your country of operation, you might need to consider other payment gateway. All right, and if PayPal works fine for you, okay, so that's also good to go. All right, so I've selected live and I've been able to connect it. Okay, and then you scroll down. If there's any other thing you need to do, then just save the changes. Now if you want to come to this page under WooCommerce, you will see settings, and then you see Stripe by payment plugin. Okay, so you can also use this particular one to come over to this page. All right, I think that's basically it. Under advanced settings, let's see if there's any other thing that you need to do. So you can just refund or cancel, no. All right, so every other options here are pretty much straightforward. So with that, we've been able to set up our payments. Okay, so now let's go back to that. Now you also need to take note that, especially if you are creating a new account, so make sure you also log in back into your Stripe account to complete the process, okay, of filling in some of your personal information and details. All right, don't just stop at connecting your API, so that you can be able to sort out receiving payment and all of those. Okay, that's if you are using Stripe. All right, so with that, now let's come back to the our dashboard. Now that we've added payments, now next thing is for us to test the website itself, if it can deliver some of these functions that we're expecting. Maybe a user can come in to create an account, can purchase a course, get certificate, and all of those. But before then, let me just walk you through some other 3 plugins that we also installed earlier, so that in case you want to set that up. Now, one of them is this TP login register. So if I should click on it now, so basically what this plugin does is, if you want to have that feature that allow people to be able to log in with their social media, you can see social login. So just click on social login here. So if you want people to be able to log in either with Google, Facebook, any of these, or X, this 3-1, then you can just click on, let's say with Facebook, for example, or let's start with Google. So just click on get started and then follow this process. Okay, I won't be going through it because I don't want the videos to be longer than necessary. But if you want to add this feature, since we've installed the plugin, so you can see, just go to Google search, Google Cloud Console, follow all of these steps, and then you'll be able to get your client's ID key and client secret key, and then you enable the feature and save. Then you'll be able to set that up. All right. So another one that I also want to mention is this particular plugin here, this light speed cache plugin. Is actually a caching plugin that in one way or the other, it also helps to increase speed. But one of the things that I find very useful is when you come to presets, all right, you can see this is to help you to clear cache, all right, on your website. And where I find very handy and useful is when you are making some changes on your website and you are not seeing those changes, they are not reflecting the way it should be. You might just need to clear your cache. So you can come here and apply some presets. Anyway, but in clearing cache, you can also do it from your hosting, but you can as well do it from here. For example, now I'm already on our hosting right here. And let's say you want to now do it from the back end, you can see it right here. Once you're on your website, you can see the domain we are using. You're on overview, you can see the option to clear cache right here. You can also do it right here. Okay, so with that, now let's come back to our website. Let me return back to our dashboard. So again, I just want to make sure I covered everything that is here. This is for portfolio. If you want to add portfolio, you can do that. Okay, I think I mentioned earlier that portfolio was not there, but it's actually there. Okay, then this is for analytics. If you want to see the analytics, maybe overview and everything. But this is for that of WooCommerce. Okay, and then if you scroll down again, what else are we yet to cover? This is a MailChimp for WordPress. So if you want to put in, integrate MailChimp, when you want to get leads, maybe people can put in their email one way or the other. This is what that plugin is for. And then we also have where is it? This contact. So we also have this contact form. All right, so you can see here contact form on the contact page. All right, so this is the form that is actually working on, I think, this one. All right, so this is the short code for the contact form. If you need to edit it, you can just go here and edit it. All right, but if you're on the contact page, that form that is there where you can put in your email, your address, and then a message. So this is what is working for that. So with that being said, now let's go ahead and open our website in a separate browser and create an account as and try to see if we can get a course. So guys, I've opened up the website in a different browser now. So let's see if everything is working fine. So I'll come over to register. So let me put in a username. Let's say I want to use username. Let me just put in Prosper, and then email. Let me use okay. I think I copied an email just now. So let me use this. All right. Then for password, so let me just put in this, and then I'll repeat the password again. All right, so I click on sign up. So now it's showing that, okay, accounts, you have logged in. All right, so I've already logged in. So if I click on profile, let's see what my profile looks like. All right, so you can see it right here. So I can click here to put in a profile picture. Yeah, it's showing me courses enrolled, 0, everything 0. You can see it because it's a new account. All right, so let me go ahead and see if I can just take a course. So I click on courses. All right, so to start with, I can just start with this course that we created earlier. It's a free course, so I just click on it. Free course. Okay, so I can just come here and click on start now. You can see, congrats, you've enrolled. So now that I've enrolled, you can see I now have access to the course. You can see everything that we created earlier. So if I scroll down, I'm done with this particular lesson. I'll click on complete. So I can go to the next. Okay, I can go to the next. Now, this is the web design assessment we created earlier, 2 questions. So let's click on start. And you can see the duration 5 minutes. So the question 1 says, is WordPress a CMS? So the answer is true. All right, so I go to the next question. Oh, this is a random question. I can't remember what I choose here. So I'll need to go and confirm and come back so that I can get the correct answer and then get a certificate. Okay. So I've checked the answer is true. Okay, because it's just some random text. Okay, then I'll click on finish quiz because they are just 2 questions. Finish quiz. Are you sure you want to submit? Okay. So let's see. All right, good. I've passed because I got 100% and the pass mark is 80. All right, so with this now, I can drop my review. Okay, the results. All right, so this is it. This is passed already. All right, so I think I'm done with the course. So now let me come back. And then let me come over to profile. Also, I want to show you some of the emails that I've received since I created the account. So right here, it's showing me that you're registered successfully. Okay. And then the next one was when I enrolled for the course. You have enrolled for this course and it's showing me the title. So this is how the email will look like. If you want to make it better, I've already shown you where you can do that. Okay. So then the next email I received was showing my order is complete, right, for the particular course that I took. And then thanks for your order. You've received your, okay, we've received your order at B Academy and send you details. All right. So now this is for a free course. Now let's see if what if it's a paid course. So what I'll do now is to come back to courses and let's say we want to add a price so that we can test the payment gateway, or without even needing to test the payment gateway. Let's see if we can see one of those. Let's see this course, $69 per hour, or let's see this one. So I'm going to add it to cart. So you can see it here, proceed to checkout. Right, so you can see our checkout page. Okay, so payment method, you can see credit card. All right, so everything is all set. Save payment information and the like. So this is where I'm going to put in. Remember, we've set up Stripe, and payment method was credit card. That was the only options that we enabled. Let me see if I still have that page opened. I'm coming just a bit. Should be under settings itself. Then when you come to payments, so there are two options there. They want to look similar, but they are quite different. So you can see that the only option here was card payments. Okay, so every other one was not enabled. That's why you are seeing here that it is only card that we can use to do this. Okay, so for this now, just to let's test if it's going to go through. What I want to do is let's see if we can use these card details. So what I want to try now is, all of this is just for test purposes, these card details for Stripe. Okay, so let me put it in and see if it will work. Okay, I think I copied it. Okay, so I'll come here and paste that. Then the month, you're just going to choose not 2020, 2028, and you can pick any random number. All right, so let's see if for the city, apartment, state, and everything. So let me just put in some random information here. Place order. There was a problem with our payments. That's because our payment system is live and this is a test card details. So for us to just go through, since we are just doing a test proposal, come back to payments. Should be the Stripe by payment settings. Okay, so come over to settings. All right, so instead of this live, so I'll just put it to test. All right, because this is what we are doing. We are testing it. Okay, so it's already set to test, so I can come back. So let me just refresh. Okay, so let's put in the card detail again. Then just put in a future date, and then use any number for your CVV. All right, and then save payments method and like. So let's see place order. So it's still rolling. All right, so you can see it went successfully. So that's to let you know that our payment system is working fine. Thank you. Your order has been placed. Please, you need to take note. This is a test mode. Okay, don't forget, don't mix it up. We are currently in test mode, as you can see here. All right, so that's why it can go successfully using some of these card details. Okay, it's just for testing purpose. But if you set it to live, once you set it to live, then you're going to use a real card details and you're going to be debited real. Okay, so you can see it here. Now, if I should go to my inbox, I'm going to see receive messages letting me know that I've placed an order. I can see it here. So this is the second message I'm getting, all right, for the second order. So you can see it right here. You can see the price and the total. Okay. So with that now, let's come back to the back end of our website. So let me just click on dashboard so that we can see that all the analytics will start to make sense. I think I'll be under LearnPress. Then we'll come over to statistics. Okay. So you can see total order is 2, total instructor is just 1, and then 1 student. Okay. So you can see top category sold. You can see it here. So once you start to get traffic and everything, so now you can see these are the 2 courses that have been enrolled in. So you can see it right here. All right. So you can go ahead and under settings, you can set in your avatar, your cover image. You can see, just go ahead and fill in all of this information. All right. And if you also want to become an instructor, okay, so you can see the options here. Once you click here to become an instructor, so once you fill in this information, all right, and then you click on submit, the admin, okay, will receive an email or a message that, okay, you want to become an instructor on the website. So the admin will have to accept you. The admin will receive a notification under user where you are going to, so as the admin now have to accept you to be an administrator. Okay, so you can see this is the account I just created on when we are testing, and you can see the role is set to subscriber. You can see the email right here. So if I want to request to be an admin, okay, there will be a message here, and then the admin will if I want to be an instructor rather, a teacher, there will be a message here for the admin to accept me. Okay, so with that now, we are generally rounding up. So other information I want to add is that if you are creating your website and you need image, so there are some websites that comes highly recommendable, the likes of Pixabay, You can get quality image from Pixabay, or Splash and Pixels. Okay, so these three websites comes highly recommendable for quality images. So do make sure you check out that the images you are selecting are free images. Now, in between them, I want to show some premium images, so you need to be very careful with that. So additional information I want to share with you is that I'm going to leave a timestamp because the video is pretty much long. So I'll leave a timestamp in case you want to rewatch any section of this video so that you can do so easily. And then the links I said I'm going to be leaving in the description of this video. If you want to get the domain and hosting, don't forget to use the link in the description of this video so that you can get as high as 85% discounts and then a free domain. Okay, I'm also going to leave a link to some of those short code if you want to use it to create pages. All right, I'll leave that also in the description of this video. Also, if you also want to know how to create custom emails, I didn't mention there's a separate video for that. Also, if you want to know how to create custom emails, for example, as you have your website now, maybe you want to have info at your domain name.com, there's also a video that will address that. So with that, guys, we've come to an end to this tutorial on how to create an online course website. And this is a very in-depth one. I believe this is my second video I'll be doing on online course. All right, this is even more in-depth than the previous one. So if you find value in it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you have any question or any comments, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll definitely attend to you. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to use the link below to get your domain and your hosting, and also to get this theme. All right, so I'm going to get commission on that, and I think that's enough to say thank you for the resources I've shared in this video. Okay, so guys, with that, guys, I'll see you all in another video. My name is Prosper. Bye for now.